away from New York City, Gino.
That's right,
We are in the south of France here. What a start to the week. It's been unbelievable. And we got an unbelievable lineup here. If you're thinking about timeliness, Gino.
Yeah.
Talk about some of the awards that have been given out and based on who's going to be here.
Well, listen to this, Jack. 8 Grand Prix have been announced already here at Cannes on day 1 here. And we have 3 of the Grand Prix winners themselves. The agency founders will be on the show today. I have chills right now just thinking about the guests that we have. Should we talk about some of them?
Yeah, do it real quick. Real quick. Give it to him quickly.
All right. We got Nils, Leonard. We got Evin, Shutt, and Flavor Flav. We got Omid, Farhang, co-founder and CEO of Majority. We got Oriel, Davis-Lyons at Mother. Anselmo, Ramos, founder and creative chairman at Gut. Tiffany, Rolfe, who's the voice of innovation of the industry, Jack. Aaron Starkman, the founder of the CCO of Rethink. Listen, these are the best of the best in the industry.
And this is all presented by Manychat. Shout out to Manychat. We're going to have Mart, CMO, join us here in a second. I want to ask him, first off, what were you thinking sponsoring this show? Unbelievable move. But the second thing I want to talk about is how they're playing a role in the industry. I mean, we all know what Manychat is. We've all heard of it. We've all, you've seen it. You've come across it, whether you know it or not. You're going to talk with them about how they're turning, you get those engagements to get the attention. Then how do you convert that? It's becoming more and more important. This idea of like using creativity and things that are going to get buzz and then bringing it down the funnel, right, Gino?
That's right, Jack.
That's
no more link in the bio. You can just comment it right there.
I will also be in the YouTube chat. I'm not on the Wi-Fi here, Gino, in the south of France, the data roaming. I don't know how it all works.
Sure.
But I will be monitoring the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat, if you have a comment, question, we'll ask it live on the show. But shall we get started?
Yes, let's bring out our first guest here, who's also the best dressed that I've seen all Cannes. So come on out.
Come on out, Mart. Here we go. Good to see you, sir. Hey. How's it going? Mart.
Great. Thank you. We'll get
CMO of Manychat, you're going to just want to just give that a little bit of a, right there is perfect.
How's that sound, team?
Yeah, listen.
Got a good thumbs up there.
All right, so how are you feeling? It's Cannes, you're our first guest, by the way. So if we ask dumb questions, just know that we're just working the rust out.
There are no dumb questions.
So let's talk about it. What are you doing here? What's Manychat up to?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here. This is awesome. I like that we're outside and not inside. I just thought that maybe this is not breaking and entering. Maybe it's breaking and exiting,
Oh, there you
still
go.
B&E, still B&E though.
Don't mog us.
You don't have to change the brand. No, we're happy to be here. I feel like this year in Cannes, this is the year of the creators. It used to be very advertising heavy, and now creators are part of that story. Manychat basically our main mission is to support creators, help them self-actualize, help them connect with audiences. So we're super happy to be here and do this thing with you guys.
How about a hard question?
All right.
I'm gonna go with a hard question.
Here we go.
It's a tough question. What's the most underrated thing about creators today, right now?
Well, immediately I thought of the hustle being underrated, but I think people understand how hard it is to be a creator. I think there's something to be said about creators still having to justify their profession in some way. I don't know, do you guys consider yourselves creators?
Yes, and I don't even know what to say when I'm meeting new people. It's like I kind of cover the industry. I'm kind of a creator. I kind of have this, I don't know if there's a stigma around it. I kind of feel weird saying it. Can you help me out?
Yeah, there's something about being a creator, and justifying the fact that it's a real job in some way. Maybe to your family, maybe to people that you meet. And the people who work with creators know how serious creators can get. And they know that there's this double-sided thing where you have to get your audience, you have to get the content right, you have to become something on social, but then you also have to build a business around it. And building a business around something is the hardest job, right? It's the hustle of the entrepreneur in some way. It's really difficult. The creator economy is forming around creators, so it's getting easier to kind of figure out what to do and kind of how to orient yourself towards what makes money. But it's still so difficult, and shout out to all creators who are doing it. And there's more and more doing it, which means this is working. We're very excited to be kind of powering this kind of change.
So we talked a lot with advertising executives. It's agency day. There's gonna be a lot of advertising execs that join the show. They've seen a lot of change in terms of how advertising even happens. These are people that have been in the industry for 20 plus years. They're leading the best agencies in the world. How do you feel that bringing people down the funnel? How has social media kind of changed all that? And where does Manychat sit? If we're gonna, all these ad executives are gonna be like what's Manychat? How does that actually even work? Why does it make a difference?
I think there's two interesting questions here. One, before we get to the Manychat part, which is the part where you turn the attention into some sort of action on social. But before that, there's the matter of, you're an agency you're a marketer or a brand, like what are you trying to do with creators? And there's a way by which people think of creators as another media unit in some way. They think creators have an audience on social, and they might just buy or rent out that attention for their purposes in the same way that they buy ads. And I think that's not exactly the right way of thinking of what creators are for an advertiser. Creators have something that a typical ad unit doesn't have, which is they have trust with the audience that is implicit already. The attention that creators can generate comes with trust already. And so I think the job of the advertiser or the agency is to somehow write the story or the message that aligns with that trust, rather than just consider the creator as it's just a way to buy traffic. So I think if you understand that, then you also understand how to turn that trust and that attention into an action that matters to you, right? If you're selling a product, you want that attention on social to end up with people buying the product, or at least end up with people doing something like performing an action that leads them closer and closer to buying. That's where Manychat comes in. It's basically a way to create automations and workflows on social that convert the attention that followers give their creators into some action that matters in a way that feels authentic to the platform, in a way that doesn't take it out into some, like you said, link in bio, or like some way that is foreign to the platform itself.
Yeah, like those friction points. I guess before Manychat existed, can you or what was the biggest unlock Manychat provided for creators, for brands, would you say?
Yeah, I think the most basic way to parse the evolution of all of this is that first, creators, which back then used to just be called influencers, they just put content out there. They got followers, they got the attention of the followers, and then brands that worked with them just wanted to do what is kind of in the film industry called product placement. And that's it. And nobody tracked anything. They just thought, this way we'll put our brand out there and influence the right people. And then the next phase, there was some, a 2 or 3 year like hype bubble of the link in bio world, where all you have to do is shout out, hey, go to my link. My link is in my bio, and then maybe you'll follow up with some sort of action. And I think what happened was that the conversions were just not there. So if you're an advertiser that wants action or wants to track actual performance, conversions were not there, because people do not want to leave the scroll. You don't want to go to somebody's bio and then link out. And that's where Manychat kind of comes in, where it creates these types of engagements that can lead to action, but it's native to how people use social.
Totally. You ever get the thing where you're scrolling and then it just goes the way of the post? Like you accidentally leave the page and it's gone forever.
Yeah, because I like, especially when my algorithm is dialed. When my algorithm is dialed, I'm just swiping. I'm like, everyone's a banger. It's all a banger, every single one. And then when I go out, and then I'm like, I'm done. I lost it. I lost the whole thing. Especially like now I don't follow anyone. It all comes to me on my feed. So if I see something, I need to take action.
That's a good point.
Thanks, Gino.
Really good point.
Thanks.
Jack. Can we all give a quick clap
did you
for
think
Jack?
that was also a good
one
point?
of the best points of the day, I think.
Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say.
No, it doesn't even matter. Gino, what were you going to say?
Were
you going to try and carry it?
I was going to
try and land the plane.
I was trying to land the plane.
So we give the people a little sense of like what's your experience been with it this year. There's a lot of people that will be watching this from back home. Try to give us like, is there's so much hype going on.
They got like a little beachfront over there.
Yeah, but just like generally though, like it can, because there's so much hype that's going back and forth, and it feels like everything needs to be a tension point. It needs to be like this versus this. This is taking over. Explain to us kind of your experience and what you've gotten.
If anybody who's not here, first of all, I don't know if people know that we're on a boat right now.
This is a green screen. We're actually back in our office.
It's all boats and helicopters. So you go from boat to boat by flying on a helicopter. That's the only way to travel. Cannes is great. I mean,
you getting good pizza here?
In Cannes.
I was told you're a good pizza fan.
You did your research. I like it. Pizza
Narwhal,
is the thing.
Narwhal style reporting.
Yeah. So the question is, I'll ask you, if you only had one thing to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Burrito.
With anything?
Burrito, just because the way I see it, the burrito is kind of all-encompassing. I can put really anything into that burrito.
That's a little.
Which felt. I was kind of quick on my feet.
That's not bad. That's not bad.
Gino, what's yours?
Yeah, I'm thinking pizza or burger.
Yeah. Pizza. You pick one.
I'm going burger.
Okay,
would you go pizza?
Then I'll go pizza. If you went pizza, I would have gone burger. This way we can share.
Yeah, but we kind of covered all the fundamentals. What, Jack?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If Manychat was a pizza topping, what pizza topping would Manychat be?
There's no way I can answer this
That's
question.
right.
Let's see.
You got to answer.
You thought the other question was hard.
Okay, Manychat is here to connect creators with their audiences. What does that for pizza?
Cheese.
Cheese. Manychat is the cheese.
There it is.
Done.
I was
we were thinking
there.
about cheese. Cheese.
It's the glue. It's the glue guy.
You're the glue crew.
Yeah.
It's the glue crew. And so, well, you know, we appreciate you all supporting the Breaking and Entering show as well. It's a blast, and I think what you guys are doing is so great. And yeah, it's great to have you as a sponsor of the show. How does it feel to be a friend of the program officially?
Yeah, first of all, you guys are awesome. And the way you do things, I think, is super refreshing and is well needed. So thank you. I'll just say this. I don't want to get too emotional. And you guys,
I'm
maybe
gonna
try.
start crying.
I don't make you start crying.
Listen, there's two things that Manychat is trying to do in the world. One is if you're a creator and you have a passion or an interest and you want to share that with the world, we want to help you make money out of it, right? So we want to help like convert that attention that you are getting into something that is that helps you self-actualize as a business as well, right? So people can actually live this dream. And the fact that 1 million people do that, that's a huge privilege for us. Like we're super happy that we're able to do that. I think there's another thing that is beautiful, and we're here in Cannes, we might forget it. And I think it's important to remind ourselves that there's also, let's say, about 100 million people out there in the world for whom being a creator is one of their only options in some way. They don't have access to jobs in the way that, you know, people in Cannes or people in the US or people in some parts of Europe do. And so to be able to kind of give people an option out of their circumstances so that they can actually build a business on social just with a phone and an audience, that's a beautiful thing. And I think like you guys promoting this kind of idea of creators being part of the economy, and us kind of providing the tools for that, I think there's a match there, and I think it's a privilege for us to kind of do these kind of things.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't ask for a little bit of consultative advice before you leave. So let's say Breaking and Entering, we're using Manychat. What should we have like the automation do? Because like we have the live show, and I feel like that's the hardest thing. Is like on Instagram, I want to get people to go to the live show or go to our stuff.
Yeah, what do you want them to do? What action is the best possible action?
I want them to watch the live show.
Yeah.
Live from Cannes.
Right. So let's say you have a post on Instagram that is some sort of teaser for the show, but then the action is to maybe subscribe to wherever you're kind of posting the show, or maybe actually register for some live event. Then what you do is just like have a call to action, like, hey guys, if you want to subscribe to this event, comment this word, and then you'll get a direct link for it. And then that's it. They get a link in their DMs, and either exactly at that time or later, they click on it, they register. It's easy.
I love it.
Boom. Easy money. Mart, thank you so much for joining the show.
Thank you guys.
Much
Amazing
appreciated.
guest.
Well
Thank
done.
you so much.
That's Manychat, Gino.
you, sir.
Shout out Manychat. We'll take your mic real quick. It's the Manychat difference.
Yep.
The cheese of the pizza. That's Manychat. What a way to kick off the show, Gino. Your thoughts, your rating for Mart.
I'm going to give that a 9.9 out of 10.
There you go.
9.9
there you go.
out of 10.
There's nothing to do
That last
with
part
the
almost
fact
had me
that-
a little too emotional, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't want to get emotional this early in the show.
I can't cry at the start of the show.
I want to shout out everyone that's watching right now. I want to shout out to the people that are watching
You wanna do a
live,
monologue?
and I want to shout out to the production team as well. Ellie and JR, they're working their butts off to put on this show, and we're very appreciative of that. Shall we get on with the show, Gino?
Yes, sir. Our next guest is Nils Leonard, founder and CCO of Uncommon Creative Studio. You know, it's somebody that we're very close with online. It's our first time meeting him. You're all going to see this. This is probably going to go off the rails. Throw all the talking points away, Jack. He's got a Grand Prix with him right now. Nils Leonard,
Nils,
welcome.
Take
to
a
the show.
seat. Take a seat. Why don't you're just going to do the, you got it. You're a pro.
Something with this?
Nils, it's our first time meeting in real life. I feel like I'm meeting an internet friend right now.
I fucking love you guys.
We love you too.
Can you hear me
We
all
love
right?
you
Is
too.
that all right? Is that working? I don't know.
Yeah,
Someone-
I'm sure.
Thumbs up over there, JR. Feeling
sure
good?
it's good.
Okay.
Wicked.
So how's everything going? It's nice to meet
Sick.
you, Nils.
It's good to meet you, man. I'm really chuffed to meet you guys. I fucking love what you guys do, dude.
Thanks, man.
It's awesome. Honestly, genuinely. I was telling myself I'm going to hold it down and be calm, and I'm just not.
No, we're not.
fuck it.
No, especially after you guys get a big win.
Yeah,
you guys
it's
got a
good.
big win,
Yeah,
right?
look,
Shall
that's
we?
it. So, yeah,
Shall
look,
we?
I've got this fucking thing.
Look at that. Can I hold it?
Yeah, mate.
Can I-
I just. I walked that.
Dude, this is heavy.
I walked that from the old town. This is why I look like this.
Dude,
I thought I
yeah.
was going to die at the bottom of that
This
hill.
is heavy.
Yeah.
Gino.
This is the Grand Prix for Periodic Fable.
Periodic fable.
And that was in the health and wellness?
It was. Yeah.
Incredible.
Which we haven't
This is
won in
heavy as
before.
hell.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Wow.
Thanks,
Here.
man. Yeah,
So
it's
how
good.
does that feel? So what is that? Is that you keep track of the Grand Prix these days?
I might a little bit. I'm going to pretend to be cool and say no idea. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
That's Grand Prix. That's Grand Prix 2 for the studio, I think.
Unbelievable.
Actually, that's a lie. 3.
Do you know what the other 2 were?
Yeah,
I'm
the
just
one
curious.
was Purposely Visit, and
Oh,
the other
okay.
one was it Gold or Grand Prix? I can't remember. It was another BA one, but I can't remember whether it was
Another
Gold or Grand
BA
Prix.
one. Okay,
And you
British
got-
Airways, yeah.
And you got some silvers for British Airways,
We did.
Reflections, out of home. Love
Robbed.
that as well.
Robbed.
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 Out of home was
Never satisfied,
You know,
Jim.
that was
Never satisfied.
Gut was the winner of the Grand Prix. You know, Anselmo's gonna be on. So if you have any notes for Anselmo,
Well, I
Yeah.
don't have any notes for Anselmo, but in classic fashion, I'm a bit like, do you remember when posters were part of the out-of-home thing?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Yeah, posters. Yeah.
Okay, so
No, I'm just
did
a
they
bit-
get rid of the posters?
Look, I know I think it was good, but I think it had shades of 2007 and that everything wasn't an out-of-home. Didn't they award a coffee machine that had a building wrapped on it? I'm a bit like, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just think, genuinely mean it, I think we've had an incredible time in out-of-home. Like, and when I say trad, I just mean image making, brilliant writing. There's been some amazing posters, never mind us, some fucking incredible work, and I think it went missing. Candidly, if you look at D&AD, I think it awarded, much punchier, much better, more, new stuff. And I think it's been a resurgence of what out of home means. And I just think it really went missing in this show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, we're big fans of the out of home stuff. I think it's always, you saw it when like the New York Knicks won the championship.
100%.
You just think about like, those things, those moments. It's just it's almost because of the fact that out of home billboards are like a scarcity, and these days you can make infinite.
Well, 2 things,
content.
man. Like, one is humans put them up.
Yeah.
Like digital ones are fine.
paint
But
them.
actual humans fucking get 30 feet of paper out of a bag and they put them up.
Yeah.
And then you walk around the city, by the way, and no one asks you permission. Go with me here. No one asks you permission to build a building in your city, but they happen, and they have an effect on your mind and on your health and your whatever. Posters are the same. The things you're surrounded by are like really important, and I think no one talks about that. So wasn't it a massive privilege to be able to put things up around people that actually bang and are of intelligence and hit you and people want to take a photo of? I think that's a really modern phenomenon we've come back round to.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You're doing a good job at it too. The
Yeah,
KFC work.
In case you need it.
You got the KFC work.
I'm bad
You
at
got
this,
the
you're
Aer
great at
Lingus
it.
as well.
Yeah.
The spots,
Thank you,
Aer
yeah.
Lingus.
It's been great to
Yeah,
see it.
KFC from Sweden. The guys in Sweden are absolutely crushing it. Bjorn is a psychopath, by the way.
Who?
Oh, yeah.
Bjorn Stahl, have you met that guy?
He's a psychopath.
Yeah,
he'd be great for this show.
Yeah, he's a
I can
lunatic.
imagine he'd be
No,
fantastic.
he's awesome. But that work is excellent.
I was going to ask you, how many offices do you freaking got now?
No, 3.
Okay.
New York, Stockholm, and London. Have I talked to you about this? I don't. So our thing is, we're not trying to grow a big network around clients. That's not actually the deal. I saw this thing called the School of Athens once, which is an engraving of Athens back in the day, and they had all the philosophers. They had Plato, Socrates, Aristotle. And I was like, imagine a snapshot of our industry that was all about talent. It wasn't about fucking networks and clients and growth and horizontality. It was about talent. And so our dream is a snapshot, as on Common Turns 10, of literally the world's best creatives. That's it, and everything else follows.
So you're like you don't
Sam
even
Shepard,
care.
Bjorn Stahl, like that's it.
You want it to be like Sam Shepard. You don't even care if they think about Uncommon.
No,
you want them to care about
I
like
want
the person.
I want Uncommon to have been the house for it.
Yeah, right.
But I want us to be like completely open to the fact that Thomas Heatherwick, the architect, might be standing there.
But that's kind of different than what you see with with agencies. Will be they're kind of weird about how they do credits, and you kind of want like sometimes you see a lot with like junior talent. Sometimes it feels like there's a little bit of tension of like putting junior talent forward because they're gonna get poached.
We have this weird thing where we just put the studio on everything. I think it's everyone's responsibility, and I'm shameless at this, and the best people are, to push themselves as a part of the studio.
Right.
Like if they get famous, the studio only benefits.
Right.
It's like a house of artists is the way I kind of look at it.
Yeah.
And so, man, I 100% I'm all for that. Shameless PRing. By the way, as Brits are terrible at it. So I learned all this shit off Tor Mirren when he was at Grey in New York.
Okay.
And he was just fucking phenomenal at that and banging his own drum. And it taught me a shamelessness that most UK studios and agencies don't have.
What do you think that the UK studios do better than the American studios?
Oh, nice question, Jack. Let's go.
I'm gonna
Are you
say-
saying holistically, or are you talking about?
I was hoping to just keep it as vague as possible, as hard as possible to answer, and see where Nils. Because you can say, I want to hear, Americans maybe
No,
better.
I'm going to
like,
100% say we do comedy less well. Okay, so let's just start there. I think the taste levels and difference and new energies tend to come more from Europe. I think you see things that have a newer flavor. The only guys bucking that trend, by the way, I think are Isle of Any, who I really rate.
Yes.
High taste work, not necessarily famous, but very high taste. But I think the majority of the time when you're looking at print, output, and the kind of film that we all reference, it's European in flavor, I think.
Yeah, those
So-
guys are from London too, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I
a bit
think
cheeky
so.
of me to say that, isn't it? But I know,
The one
but
exception.
But I think you know what I mean. I think there's just a weird, what do we call a weirdness, but a newness to it. This pursuit of taste. I don't know anybody knows what good taste is, but I do know that people are chasing new. They tend to do it more and make people more uncomfortable from from London, I think.
Yeah, makes sense. So what's getting you excited these days? Like you come here, you come to Cannes, you see all the work.
Yeah.
What kind of work is getting you excited that's coming out from outside of Uncommon?
It's difficult at the moment, if I'm honest. I'm going to be really honest. I think the design work is always amazing. That's my favorite thing at this show. I think some of the stuff I just wish was legit important. I still see work that isn't. I see work that is manufactured for this show, and I'm just going to say it like I do. And I think people can smell it more than they've ever smelled it. And we all know it's a game, but I think it's annoying. And I think it's like, if we want a way to matter, and everyone's bemoaning the death of the industry, we have to, I think, be making work that makes a fucking dent. Even if, and so I just, I find that kind of annoying. Look, I miss.
Yeah. So
how do you tell that?
Well,
like,
then,
How do you tell it?
Yeah.
Well,
Like, how can you like?
I'm not going to name names, but a great way to siphon this out is to ask, what was the brief? What was the brief for that? What was the brief for those little coffee machines covered in buildings? What was the brief for, you know, and I think when you can't ask yourself what the brief was, you start to wonder why the fuck it happened. And it doesn't mean it's not good, by the way. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, did it hit? Did it come from a real tension or problem? I'd love to believe whether you love or hate our work, you know it's legit and it's come from a brief with our clients and a partnership.
This is something that I feel like comes up a decent amount, is like making the work for the awards, because it's like this circle where you win the award, you get more clients, you do more work, you get, and so you it's a weird kind of like.
If it wasn't briefed, then we're assuming that the agency proactively pitched an idea, sold it through last second maybe for the award deadline. But if the client agrees and buys it, does that take away from
a little bit?
Okay.
Well, only because, look, I think there's also a difference. If you go and make some work for yourself as art or activism, I'm a massive fan of that. We do that ourselves. I'm a massive fan of anybody who goes and does it. When you make work for a client, it defines that there's a partnership already in place, and that you've woken up on their behalf and made it, which is great. And respect you, by the way. I know how hard it is to make those things happen, so I'm not demeaning that. I just think it places the work in an arena where nobody in the real world will really have seen it hit. That's what I'm arguing.
And so it's like, how much is it actually like advertising at that point?
Yeah, how much does it really matter?
Right.
Or is it vanity? Now, if it's vanity, fucking call it vanity.
Right.
That's great too.
Yeah.
Like, we make loads of indulgent shit, like Rap Boot.
Yeah.
We did that for us.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
but I just, I'm just poking a little bit. Like, there's a difference, I think, between proactive projects you bring to clients that serve a need and are out in the world. 100% respect that. Then there's the stuff that I think we all sort of know and look at and go, is that really hitting? And that's me just, you know, being honest about, if we want our industry to matter again, and there's all these debates about how we're all losing our jobs and being taken over, it's because we're spending vast amounts of our time unpaid doing things that don't matter.
Interesting. So, and then it's like at that point, then you kind of are like, okay, because the jury rooms, it's kind of like yourself. It's a way of like self-policing.
Yeah.
So you need to get, it should be, right. But I think that's kind of a potential.
And let me just say, by the way, awards are like, I don't want to sound like a fucking hater. They're massively important. The juries are brilliant people. Making anything happen is hard. And if you don't win awards, no one knows you exist.
Right.
So whether I like it or not, man, it was a chat I had with myself earlier, which is, should we be about awards? Fuck awards. It's like, dude, no one's going to know you're here. And if you're a startup, that's incredibly important.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, like, they really do matter. But there's a way to win them, I think, and an energy inside them that we need to fight for a bit more.
So if you can make one sweeping motion that automatically changes the way this award show is handled, what would you do?
I wouldn't make the show's job to police the industry. I'd just remind the industry that if they want to matter, they need to work a different way. I mean that sincerely. Like, it's not Cannes' job to rescue the ad industry. The ad industry's job.
Right.
You know. So I just think Cannes wants to, and juries want to, hold up great work that mattered in the world. And I think the things that win, like, I love that rule they have where you can't win a Grand Prix if it's charity or if it's whatever. I think there's a rule like that.
Okay.
I think that's really good, because what that says is you can't just manufacture work that's noble with no real impact. But I think the industry needs to self-police itself there. And I mean that in so many ways, dude, don't get me started. But I'm like, I think the industry needs to remind itself that we are of real importance and note. You know, the Gilbert and George, the artists, have this quote, make the world to believe in you and to pay heavily for the privilege. I fucking love it.
Yeah, that's
like,
good.
when did we forget it? And you kind of go around and everyone's going, we can cut your costs and do that. And I'm like, shouldn't be the conversation. The conversation should be, fuck me, how much would I pay for those people?
Yeah. So when you're working with clients, because there's all that talk about these days about how agencies get paid and how like that pricing model works. Are you able to disclose a little bit about how you guys do it?
Just a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because all this stuff where they're like, should we charge by the hour? Should we charge by the idea? Ultimately, I think you can end up talking about the wrong thing, which is just, you need to talk about your value. So in this conversation, in this place, how much are you worth to them? How much is your thinking worth someone else's? And that's the thing to protect. It doesn't matter if they pay you in Bitcoin, just pay highly for it.
Well, we're speaking with Kat Ferdin from Coinbase tomorrow. Tune in for that show.
I love it.
Yeah. Sick work from them, by the way.
Yeah, they work with Isle of Any. They done
do.
some stuff with them.
They do.
So yeah, your thing, it really depends on the client and the situation, and you send the value.
I just think you can tie yourselves up in knots talking about innovative ways to charge, or you can remind yourself that you should just charge a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, go to those clients and say, listen, there's a respectful relationship. There's some ideas and thinking and partners who are going to change your life. Change your life. So, what's that worth to you? And by the way, the answer to that is telling. Because if clients don't want to pay for that, well, look at what they end up making. Look at the partnerships they end up doing. Look at the work that isn't talked about, and all the above.
It almost feels like you need, there's been a little bit too much of the power dynamic on the brand side. And you're kind of looking for an opportunity because it felt like there's a lot. Yeah, it's kind of like a race to the bottom with 100%. Pricing just to get wins. And
yeah.
Well,
what are some other self-destruction things that we do so we don't call it out?
We went from talking about what's some of the great things that the Brits do, and then we're like, well, I think, how do we just self-sabotage?
I feel like it's good for people to know.
Yeah,
it's
totally.
you don't even call yourself an agency.
No.
Yep.
Well, studio defines our reason for calling ourselves a studio is we're going to make with or without clients. That's the deal. We're just going to make. Studios make, and we're going to make with or without them, and that's what we're going to do. And a lot of the time, the stance from us is we've had this idea. We think this is of value. We're going to do it. We'd like to do it with you, as opposed to, you hear those things. After 9 months, the client said yes. It's like, why are you spending 9 months asking someone who cares less than you to make something?
Yeah.
You're dependent on somebody else for your dreams coming true, and I just think that's insane. Dependent, by the way, usually on people who are less ambitious than you. So that's bad. I think the world rescues us without trying. So for years I've been like, stop fucking, telling people you can make it cheaper and make more content and make all this stuff. It's okay. AI's come along and has just done that. So I'm like, it doesn't matter now me whinging about losing our value in that conversation. AI has done that. Therefore, all that's left is scarce, wise, audacious thinking, I would argue, at the top.
Yeah,
and that is of massive worth. Well, hopefully.
You're in a good spot for all this.
Well, yeah, you think like that. It feels like that's kind of some of the best work that you've seen recently. Almost feels like it's coming from that standpoint of you bring in a creative agency that just has unbelievable thinking, and they come up with a killer idea, and then they go and execute it.
And the best stuff drags an organization forward. I love the work we've made for British Airways. The thing I love most that most people don't talk about is the idea of a British original. It's on the menu. It's a British original safety film. It's on the staff hiring thing. It's language that's run through that business and changed the way they speak to each other as employees. Yeah. Like that sort of thinking, what's that worth? And what's it worth to have people who understand how to ask for that, receive it and dispense it? I just think that's a real privilege. So, never mind great ads. It's like some of the thinking we do can be massively transformative. Yeah, I think.
Do you know anything else from you for our guy?
Nils, is a pleasure. Congrats on the Grand Prix. You're representing the industry very well.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nils.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
Yeah,
great to meet.
Lovely to see you.
Great to meet.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That was Nils Leonard from Uncommon.
Yeah, goodbye.
Yeah. This is going to be the hardest part for the audience to watch is this transition period that we do.
Stingers though, right?
Yeah, of course. Thank
Amazing.
You, Gino, you want to introduce our next
Leonard.
guest?
Oh, our next guest here, we have the global CEO of 72 and Sunny, Evin Shutt. And Jack, who else do we have?
Mr. Flavor Flav himself is going to be joining the show. Excited to talk about their initiative they're working on together. It's going to be a big, big discussion. You'll have to wait and see what that's all about.
Yep.
But one of our more exciting moments. Let's do it now. Let's bring him in. It's Flavor Flav and Evin Shutt from 72 and Sunny. We're going to do a little bit of a rearrangement here.
Do I have to get up?
No, you're good. Gino's going to stay where
favorite.
he's at. You're going to come in here. How's it going? Please take a seat here. You both. Hey.
Hello. Good to see you.
Sir. How's it going, sir?
I'm fine. How you doing?
Doing well. We're going to get you mic'd up here. And then, we're live right now. So how's everything going?
Incredible here.
This is, if you're going to wear your sunglasses, I'll put mine on as well. So we'll be matching. What do you think? How do you feel about my sunglasses? Thanks. Appreciate that. Hey, Evin, let's just kick off. Let's start. What's going on? What's 72 and Sunny doing with Mr. Flavor Flav himself?
Oh, we're so thrilled to be working with him on She Weekend, which is the weekend to celebrate all the female Olympians from the Winter Olympics. They received an invitation from someone else, kind of a backhanded invitation after the U.S. men's hockey team won gold. And it was, I guess we have to invite the women too type invite. That wasn't cool. The women very politely turned that invitation down. And Flav and his amazing manager, Rhiannon, then tweeted out an invite of, I'll host you in Vegas. I'll show you a good time. I'll celebrate you. And it turned into this massive movement. The first one's coming up the weekend of July 16th through the 19th. And obviously 72 and Sunny has a love for women's sports and supporting it. So I just cold reached out to Rhiannon and said, how can we help?
Amazing.
And we've been partners since then of however we can help promote this thing, get brands involved, raise awareness for these women to celebrate them. And we did all the logo and identity work as well. It's featured on.
You look great, Mr. Flav. I have a couple questions for you here. I guess like when you heard about the news of the president doing the backhanded like invite, like what was going on in your mind at that moment?
What was going on in my mind is a terrible feeling that these girls were having, that they didn't need to have and didn't deserve to have, you know what I'm saying, in the whole nine. And I'm like, look, listen, man, I mean, these girls are out here busting their ass to make the United States look good.
Yeah.
All they want is just a little bit of recognition, man, for what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what was going through my mind. And I said, you know what? I just want to do this the right way for the girls, you know, and it's very encouraging to them too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, at the same time, because it's definitely a downfall feeling when you're not being recognized for something that you did good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, you've had quite the career, and obviously, let's talk about like why does this resonate with you so much to the point where you're like, I need to go and actually take action? Because I'm sure many people felt how you felt, but it's another step to really go for it.
I feel like somebody got to stick up for women's sport.
Yeah.
It's all about women's sport.
That's
I'm
right.
a big supporter of women's sport.
That's
you
right.
know what I'm saying? And I'm a girl dad. I have 4 daughters.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? I know how my daughters feel when they don't, you know, when they did something good and they're not being recognized for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing that all of those girls felt on the hockey team. And I'm quite sure that it wasn't a good feeling, you know? So that's why I stepped in and I said, you know what? Let me do this the right way for you girls, you know? And that will encourage them to even want to do better the next year.
I love it.
He's the world's greatest hype man, and he's using that to hype women's sports. It's incredible.
And we want to hype you two up for doing this because it's beyond it's beyond just the hockey team. It's like a larger event now. Can you speak towards the vision where it's going to be this year, where you want to take it in the next 3 years? I want to hear all about it.
I mean, well, right now I'm sponsoring definitely two Olympic teams.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? One is the water polo team.
Nice.
Because that's where I started out at. I started out sponsoring water polo, and now I'm sponsoring bobsled and hockey.
And by the way, you tried all the sports,
skeleton.
and you try all the sports you sponsor too.
Yes, and I tried.
I love that.
Matter of fact, I tried doing the water polo. Evin, let me tell you
That's
something.
hard stuff.
I was in the water. I was in the water for 7 minutes. Evin, that was the hardest 7 minutes in the water I ever had in my life.
Mr. Flav, between you and me, I can't swim, so I don't know how I would have. Water polo is like a crazy amount of upper body.
Hey, let me tell you something. When you're standing in, when you're in a water polo pool, you're talking about 7.5 to 8 feet of water, so your feet are not touching the ground.
No.
So the egg beater thing.
Yes, and they taught me the egg.
What's the egg beater thing?
Oh, you gotta
do this thing with your
do it.
with your legs,
You do it this
so that way it keeps you up. It keeps you afloat on top of the water. You know what I'm saying? And if you do it real hard, then you can rise up.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, you get such a deep appreciation for the sport. Immediately, within seconds, I would say.
Yeah, they let me try it, and I'm gonna tell you like this. I was in the water with the girls, and they gave me the ball, and they said, "Hey, we want you to try to score, Flav." I ain't gonna lie. First time I took a shot, the ball went over the net.
Yeah, hey, that's just
my second shot. My ball hit the top of the net. My third shot, it went in.
Yeah, of course.
There we go. Third time's a
charm. On Ashley Johnson, and I think that she let that happen.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But they gave it to me again, and they said, "Flav, we want you to do it again."
That's huge.
The second time, Ashley really did try to block it, and I scored. Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
That's what's up.
But as soon as I did that, then y'all had to see me swimming for the sides of the doggone wall, the sides of the wall of the pool, because I was tired.
You gave it everything you had.
I was about to sink. Yeah, I was about to go down. So yeah, it's hard.
Yeah,
it's hard. And the And the person that on the team that has the hardest job is the goalie. The goalie is just constantly treading, even while everybody else is on the other end of the pool.
Yeah, there's nowhere to hold on to.
Yeah, nothing to hold on to.
Yeah. You can't hold on to the sides or anything.
Nothing.
No.
You're just treading.
So, Evin, I want to ask you about the 72's involvement and bringing this to life. What's been
Perfect
like,
agency to do this. I feel.
Yeah, big time sports agency, obviously. So it makes sense to reach out, and now you're helping it. What's been the lift been like? What are you most excited about from 72's standpoint?
Well, I think I've just been so impressed with Flav and Rhiannon and Robin who are organizing this, because every part of it is being thought through, right? They have gotten so many requests that now every U.S. woman Olympian who medaled in the Winter Olympics is invited to this thing. And even how they've gone about it, of brands offering to help. They're like, great if you want to help, but you have to send someone from your C-suite to come meet these athletes, whether you want to do sponsorship deals or you want to hire them, because so many Olympians have to do second jobs. And so we've done a lot of, hey, let's introduce you to this brand. Can we help?
Oh, yeah.
Because we have to continue to lift these athletes up and bring visibility to it. And now it's grown to this point where after Rhiannon and Flav were saying after the Kentucky Derby, the female trainer reached out and was like, do I get an invite? Right. So this thing is just going to keep growing and growing. The female F1 driver, oh, do I get an invite? The PWHL champions from Montreal are coming. And so we got involved because we're like, this is the start of a big moment of, as Rhiannon would say, the men go to Disney World, the women go to Vegas with Flav.
Oh,
and I think this is going to become an ongoing thing. And, our history with women's sports and supporting it.
With Flav.
Right?
Sounds way better. No, yeah, you're so poised to set this up for success. I'm curious, and like, what are you seeing from the brands that are coming in? Are they getting involved? Like, can we talk about some of the brands that you guys have found for it?
Well, I'll let Flav hype up the brands that have sponsored, and then I'll just share there were a lot that got a lot of press about saying they wanted in and didn't follow through.
They didn't follow through? You want to call anybody out?
I'm not gonna the advice here, and also there's still time. There's still time.
Absolutely.
Hey, Flav, is there any brands you're excited about?
First of all, I just want to give a big shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Delta Airlines. You know what I'm saying? Because when they heard about us doing this, they stepped up and said, how can we help? You know what I'm saying? So they're going to fly the athletes and the families in.
Oh, wonderful.
In the whole nine. Also, I got to thank MGM real big, because they gave us a bunch of rooms.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? Over 128 rooms for the athletes and stuff and their families, so. What happened?
Mr. Flav, are you
interrupted for a second? Say it. Come on.
Dove.
Huh?
Dove.
Dove
is also an amazing sponsor of
Dove?
Yeah.
Listen, that I did not know. I'm sorry,
it's breaking
Dove.
news right now.
Dove.
There you go.
I'm sorry, Dove. And let me tell you something. I love Dove because I use your soap all the time.
Dove.
I love me some Dove, man.
That's what's up.
man,
Two
with the
words
word in the middle.
Flav.
I didn't know. Thank you, Dove.
Shout out Dove and shout Flav. Both of those words have 4 letters, so it kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
that you have Flav and Dove. I have a question.
And if you got Dove, you got love.
That's what's up. Are you a window or an aisle? Are you a window or an aisle person on the flight?
Well, honestly, to tell you the truth, I'm an aisle. I like the aisle because I don't like being at the window, and then if I have to get up, everybody's got to get up.
Everyone's got to get up. It's a total nightmare.
You know what I'm saying? So I like being at the aisle, so that way I can just do things at my leisure.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And I hate middle seats.
Yeah, you can't be doing.
I'm not the middle.
Flav, you're not taking.
No.
You're not
the middle seat.
There's times I gotta take the middle seat because otherwise I won't get there on time.
Yeah. How lucky are the people in the aisle in the window when you're in the middle seat? I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely. That'd be a dream come true.
I can't imagine me, you, and Gino in the middle seat. Gino and I on the edge. I feel like we're almost in that kind of setup right now. Like
I'm not really a middle seat guy, but I'm a middle seat guy if I have to.
Of course. Gino, anything else?
We all got to take the middle, you know.
I guess. I mean,
sometimes it's good to be in the middle too. You know why? Because you're being protected.
Yes, you're protected. You got insulation.
Yeah.
Totally.
I'm going to ask a question. It's people talk about this all the time, but you are the legend. How do you build? Like, what's your one lesson for building a personal brand?
Ah, man, my lesson for building a personal brand, honestly, is to put your all in all into it and just don't give up. You know what I'm saying? And you just have to believe in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Believe in it and it becomes yours.
Yeah, I love
Believe
that.
in it, never stop.
That's right.
Flavor Flav, Evin, Shutt, thank you both so much for joining. It was an
Thanks for
absolute
having
pleasure.
us.
so much.
good to see
Absolute
you.
pleasure.
So wonderful.
Amazing.
Just watch your mics if you want to just take the mics
thank you so
out.
much. Appreciate it. We'll have you take a step over here. We'll just grab your mics as
Thank you.
well. It's you got it hooked on.
I like
there.
the shoes too.
But
Thank you. Thank you.
Mr. Flav, absolute legend, and Evin Shutt, another absolute legend here.
It makes sense to me.
Thank you
Nice to
guys
meet you,
for
sir.
having us.
Appreciate you.
Being here, too.
It's an honor.
Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
appreciate you.
y'all.
Thank you,
Everything
Mr.
is
Flav.
good.
Yes,
Thank you, thank you.
absolutely. That was fantastic.
Can I say something?
Yeah, what do you want
Don't
to
be
do?
afraid to have us back again.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
That's all I got.
Friend of the
As
program.
Mr. Flav says, yeah, boy. That's amazing. What a show. You're
Always.
welcome back anytime, Mr. Flav. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank
Yes,
you, sir.
beautiful.
Appreciate you, sir.
Just beautiful. It's
Nicely
the
done.
south of France. It's Flavor Flav. It's all you could
72
possibly
and
ask
sunny.
for.
It
It's
makes
72
sense
and
to me.
sunny. Thank you all so much. We're gonna keep rolling with the show, Gino.
Yes, Jack.
We got our next guest is gonna be Omid Farhang.
Omid
Quick shout out to Manychat.
Yeah, do
Quick
it,
shout out
Jack.
to Manychat. You know, we talked with Ido earlier, Ido Mart, the CMO, about what they're doing. And I'm going to take off my sunglasses for this. You know, you get a lot of attention on social, but how do you get people to actually do something with that if you're a brand? How do you get people down the funnel, I would say?
Yeah.
And Manychat is great because they automate, they automate the DMs for brands so that when someone actually reaches out to a brand and says, hey, where can I get your product? They have an automation where they can send you a link and then you can take advantage of that moment. So shout
freaking
out
genius.
to Manychat. We're going to bring in our next guest. Gino, want to
Omid
introduce?
Farhang, co-founder, CEO of Majority here, one of my favorite shops. Co-founded with Shaq, actually, Jack. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but Omid is a class act, one of the best creatives, comes from Crispin Porter Bogusky, is a creative legend. Let's bring him out here. He's good at basketball too, Jack.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay, bring him
Let's
out.
do it.
Omid
Here,
Farhang.
We're gonna do some moving around here. Shout out Omid. Here you go.
My friends, hello.
Here you go. You will sit in that middle seat,
Okay.
and we'll just kind of move down.
Here.
Yeah, perfect.
What's up?
Here,
fellas?
why don't you take a little scoot over here? Why don't you? Yeah, take a little scootsy. Yeah, you're right. This
Should
is
we
your
shut
camera.
that door over there?
How about that?
Is that a little
How
loud?
about that? Well, people are getting riled up for Omid.
Yeah.
When I'm with you guys, I'm just happy.
Really?
Great
Yeah.
to see you guys.
Absolutely. I feel the
How's it
same
feel?
way.
So you're coming on after Flavor Flav. Can we talk? Can we get a little introspective right now? Your thoughts on how you're going to approach this interview now, coming after Mr. Flav?
Well, dude, his music actually meant a lot to me growing up. Public Enemy was one of my first favorite groups. As he was walking out, I was walking in, and I said, I just need you to know that Elvis was a hero to most, but he never meant shit to me. He's straight up racist. The sucker was simple and plain. And then he gave me his line, motherfuck him and John Wayne. And then we hugged, and no matter how this goes, I got what I needed for this trip.
Oh my goodness.
Insane.
Was it good?
Ali-
Did you get video of that? We're gonna get a video of
Ali
that.
off the
Oh
screen
my
said it was
gosh.
genuinely one of the most beautiful things she's ever seen in her life. And I think that, you talk about it's kind of, there's those kind of like serendipitous run-ins. I think like for you, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it because it's such this massive grand event and people are going to be watching this from home. And you can imagine like there's a little bit of like the gatekeepiness, a little bit of the angst. Can I get your perspective on like your thoughts on the festival? Because I think there's like a doom and gloom way to look at it. You can look at it with some positivity, but I want to know where you kind of fall in it all.
Yeah, I mean, it can indulge the most optimistic or the most cynical sort of like, tendencies that you might have showing up to it, which is really interesting duality. You come here, I mean, if you're someone who's a little bit more introverted, you can be very overwhelmed by the crowds and the performative nature of just, wanting to sound smart and be funny and show up to all the things and meet all the people. And again, it's probably, it's a place to come and get overwhelmed. It's also a place to go and walk around a bar and run into every person who meant anything to you professionally, within like 100 square foot radius.
Yeah.
And so like, to me, that makes it worth it. That makes it worth it. And even so, like when I lived in New York, it would often be people who also lived in New York, but between our jobs and our families and our obligations, we just don't make that time to get together and not rush it and be sentimental. And so I think I think that's probably like, again, when I get on the plane, there's some things that I dread, but then I remember, well, that's going to happen too. And like, as long as that happens, you know, whatever else happens. Totally. Cool.
And speaking of those folks, this is the Agency Day show. And like, we're talking to some of the best creatives like yourself in the industry. Like, what do you think this festival means for those creatives today?
Talking about young creatives?
No, like you guys, like the CCOs out here. Like, I guess anybody at a creative agency, we can widen the aperture of the question. What does it mean for the agency, copywriters, CCOs, art directors today?
I think it is just that it's a reminder as we talk about AI and we talk about scale and buzzwords. Like especially for those CCOs, people who've been here, been in the industry for a really long time, have been here a lot. You know, it's like that human connection piece of it. And man, I would say like in 2018, I won my first Grand Prix and I went out to a bar afterwards and like, you know, the winning of awards and the validation of that, in some ways it's like incredibly powerful and everything you think it would be. And in other ways it's sort of hollow and only after winning it do you realize it will not fill the hole in your heart. But, you know, like what filled the hole in my heart the night that I won the Grand Prix was going to that bar and seeing Tiffany, who you'll interview later, who was my first real partner, who was like a big sister and a mentor to me. Seeing Rob Riley, seeing Andrew Keller, seeing, you know, my first creative partner, seeing my colleagues at CAA, and sort of like, you know, in a way that you could never organize, this impromptu, it felt like an impromptu celebration for this success that I had had after so much disappointment. I would also remind people, it's like, don't be misled by the consistent success of Greg Hahn and Anselmo Ramos. Like most of us here worked really hard on case studies, really believed that they would win. Yeah. And like, dude, there's tens of thousands of entries and 3% will win a lion and 1% will win a gold. Like most people here are smiling through disappointment.
Oh yeah.
You know, and in their own heads, and you have to sort of not forget that as well. Even the best CCOs, you know, are experiencing that in large part.
Yeah, exactly. Because when you just always, you know, people get to that point because you're competitive in nature and you're trying and you want the best. And it's also like, because awards play such a big impact on this industry specifically, there kind of becomes like that, you can get in your head pretty easily and pretty quickly. And it's like, I guess, how do you combat that? As like an agency leader or just working in advertising as a creative, not to get so hung up on the outcomes and focusing on the work itself.
Dude, it's like one of my favorite, you know, thoughts is that, you know, we need to be able to hold two contradictory thoughts in our head at the same time and know that they can both be true. Like it is true that you should set your ambitions really high, try to win this, try to win at Cannes if you value that. And to win at Cannes, it's a very specific game that has a very specific set of rules. And if you're going to complain about the rules, you know, as you're doing it, that's only going to sort of hurt your ability to be outcome oriented about winning the award. As a result of that, the duality of that is, I would say, things that won Lions in my career are not my favorite work, and things that I thought would win here that didn't even shortlist, I still point to and go, that was the best expression of my creative taste, of what I value. If I lived an alternate life and I had seen this thing in the wild, it would have moved me and made me want to share it. So like, it's an international jury. The way that ideas get momentum in the room, there's a very arbitrary nature to it. I judged last year, and it's sort of amazing the way an idea will gain or lose momentum in a room. Yeah. So you can't get hung up on. Right. You can't tie the outcome to the quality of your work.
It's like if Jack is not properly caffeinated on a day, like any business choice that we make can completely 180, just depending on how the room.
Of the circumstance. Yeah, exactly.
It's like you were telling me when he wasn't around how like he's just like constantly undermining your guys' ability to take it to the next level.
For sure. We should talk about that more.
Omid, that is great content. I feel like you got that content first mindset, because that was the exact thing that you should have said. The spur, maybe a little bit of
I wanted to bring that up.
You know what? Now let's do it.
No, I love it. How is the agency going? I know we're talking about Cannes. Can we pivot to talk about majority, look at where it's at now, where it's going to be? What do you have entered? Give me the rundown.
Yeah, we're 5 years old as of last March. And I think I've always looked at my career in 5-year increments. I spent 5 years at Crispin. I spent 5 years at Momentum. And now, you know, I feel like 5 years represents like the 3-act play of a job or a career move. And I think that's held true for majority. It's like the 5 years we've been in existence, it has its own distinct 3 acts. And now I look at it like, what are the next 5 years? In some ways, we're dealing with one of the hardest things that independent agencies deal with, which is, you reach a certain level of success and reputation. And then how do you not become stagnant, and how do you like maintain that hunger and that growth mindset? And that's a real challenge. And the key to that is just partners. Pick your partners wisely when you go into business. Most companies die of homicide, not suicide, because when the agency is failing, the partners blame each other. When the agency is succeeding, the partners don't know how to share credit. And so through good selection and through luck, I've got partners now who we're on the same page. We still want the same thing. And now we sort of look at it like, what do the next 5 years hold? And for us, it's not just like, oh, headcount and growth. Like, it's about staying true to the values of the agency, what differentiates us in a very crowded, agency sea, and like not losing our way as we attempt to grow, grow consciously.
Yeah. So can you talk about like what does it mean to grow consciously to you? If it's not necessarily about headcount, because I think that's an interesting kind of prompt for creative agencies right now because of like there's so much tech to where you can kind of scale without needing to just grow just simply by headcount.
Yeah, I mean that was the definition of success for the first 15 years of my company, of my career. It'd be like, oh, CPB has this many creatives. Now Droga 5 has, it's like, oh my God, they've assembled this army. And I just don't think that's the measure of success anymore. And the technology piece is part of it that, like, on a pragmatic level, you don't necessarily need the same army of juniors that you once did to produce, volume of work. But so what that means is like, well, what is the criteria for hiring a junior? Like, what are they bringing to the agency? Because ultimately, you hire Majority or Mischief or Rethink or any other agency. You're hiring us for our taste, for our collective taste and our collective point of view. So I think it's that. It's not about like headcount as this expression of success and constant scale and like the more clients, the better. It's like which clients want what it is that we do, value our taste, and will therefore say yes to the things that hopefully, that distinguish us as an agency. And then what people are we bringing in who believe in what we're doing? I always heard like the best hiring advice is like, don't hire people who require a lot of convincing. Hire people who want to be at your agency. And I know that sounds very basic, but it's like, it's actually like, it's quintessential. Hire people who understand what you're doing and want to be doing it. And sometimes there's like, I meet cool people and they're on the fence and I find myself convincing them and I'm like, you know what? Fucking never mind. I don't, if you don't want to be here, then it's we're not going to,
Absolutely.
You need it because it needs to, like, not every agency can have this, but ours feels like a movement and it feels like, I don't like to say family because you don't fire family, but like, it does feel like a sports team. It feels like a sports team and everyone needs to play a role and everyone needs to sort of sacrifice for a shared goal.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's great. It's interesting. It kind of sounds similar to, we were talking with Nils, Leonard, founder of Uncommon earlier about, his take was all about like setting the value of the agency and like we were asking about how he prices with Uncommon and the model for that. And he said, charge a lot, just charge a lot. And it's like a similar kind of idea. It's either if they want to be there, there's value there. You shouldn't need that much convincing. And it kind of sounds like a similar mindset, even when it comes to hiring as well. So what is there any sort of like niche hiring criteria that you have personally that's maybe like kind of random?
Yeah, I do not put as much weight into books and past performance when I'm, assessing a junior or even like to some extent, like a mid-level creative. And I do that because I know that sometimes the work in your book and the quality of it is not totally in your hands. You might work at a place which is not creating that level of opportunity where you can create outstanding things. And actually within that context, I go, oh, they took a thing for a local credit union and like, this could have been awful, but they made it pretty good.
Right.
Like, pretty good was nearly impossible in these circumstances. Right. And so like, but beyond that, I actually, especially more junior people, like I want to know, did they play sports in high school? Were they in a band? What were their creative outlets, their competitive outlets, the things that they were interested in before they even knew this was a profession? Mm-hmm. Because like, if you were playing like Black Hole Sun for an audience of 12 people in a bar,
that's pretty cool.
Then number one, you have to be cool. And number two, you're not going to be nervous presenting to a client.
Nope.
And like the presentation part of our job is a big part of it. So like look for those qualities that actually are going to lead to success professionally that maybe are sort of hiding in plain sight when you look past, just, oh, here are their 5 best campaigns.
Yeah, super interesting. Very interesting way to look at it.
You got a basketball kid right here. You got a theater kid right here.
Yeah, you. So what was your basketball career like? I don't know if everyone knows this. Omid.
Yeah.
A little bit of hooper, right?
Yeah, I mean, the game retired me before I was ready to retire after my senior year of high school. I was the captain of my team, but it was more because my speech abilities, my rah-rah in the locker room. I wasn't so much a lead by example guy. When it came to the work on the court, I was more of a cut corners. When coaches turn their back, stop running hard, stand up in the ball sit kind of guy, But like I do have a great motivational speech. And, at my best, my game was sort of like Robert Tractor Trailer, maybe sort of like late stage Antoine Walker, a lot of pump fakes, a lot of sort of big
great
man
footwork.
below the rim,
Great footwork.
Work,
Yeah.
But I had the occasion. I put up an occasional 20 and 10 when the team really needed it. You know what I'm saying?
when you need it, it's like when the agency needs you to really come through. Yeah, you got to rile up, you got to rah-rah. The agency, are you tapping back into that ever? It's that you're going through a tough brief, it's hard to crack, and you just get into that conference room and you just lay it on everyone. Great rah-rah speech.
It's all sports to me, I feel like my job at the agency is actually like I'm the coach of the team. And I think about the way we compose teams on different, for different assignments and on different brands as like little starting 5s or starting 7s, as the case may be. But like, how pieces fit together to accomplish a common goal. Like the first most important way that I did that in my life was on the basketball court. And it's like the samurai saying is once you know the way broadly, you see it in all things. Like that's the way. And then it applies to this business and probably every other business where people care about what they do.
Yeah, and you could use it doesn't have to be sports either. Like you think about being in a band, it's like the composer, like the teacher of the class, like things like that.
It doesn't work if everyone in the band or everyone in the troupe. You said you're a theater kid, wants to be the star and wants to play the guitar solo at the same time. And so it's like whatever team you're on, know your role, own your role, star in your role, and that doesn't mean stay in your role forever, because you don't want to say that to someone who might not be the star player on the team, but you go, hey, own this role and star in this role, and that will create the gateway to graduating to the next role that you might aspire to as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And my last thing, any work that's getting you excited that you've either seen so far at Cannes or you're seeing in the industry right now?
I won't name any specific piece of work, but I will say a guy, John Mescal, who was the sort of like award show whisperer at McCann when I was at Momentum, gave me this tip that I would pass along to those who are either at the festival or sort of following along at home, which is like, if you're interested in sort of what's next or interesting trends, we all want to watch the Grand Prix and the golds, but actually like if you go and you watch bronze things, watch the case studies for things that won bronze and even things that like shortlisted, there's a lot of like, you can sort of start to portend what will win gold next year through watching some of the more bold sort of prototype-driven bronzes.
Right.
So,
interesting.
Because they got some seedlings, but maybe like the world's not ready for it yet, kind of thing.
I think there's something to that. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
That's a great little tidbit there.
Look at the bronzes. Look at the bronzes. They're kind of like next up.
Yeah, they're not the third place necessarily. They might just be sort of more like that. These are the types of ideas that are next up.
Yeah.
World's not ready for the bronze ideas yet.
That's right.
I like
Omid,
that.
thank you so much for joining the show.
Crushed it.
Unbelievable. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Anytime.
We'll have you
We'll take your mic
unclip,
too. Yep.
and then you can just drop that in the chair. Omid Farhang, founder and CEO of Majority, here with us. You also look great. Great shirt. You knew that was going to be.
Oh yeah.
There it is. Thanks.
Love that.
Love you.
Lots of love. Alrighty. This is the Agency Day show, ladies and gentlemen. We're here at Cannes Lions International Festival of Creativity. We're almost halfway through the show, and we got Oriel Davis-Lyons up
Before
next.
that, shout out to Manychat.
Yes, Jack.
Shout out to Manychat, presenting sponsor of the show. Gino, if you're tuning in, go give Manychat a look. Listen, if they believe in this freaking content, they must know something about something. So give them a look if you're looking to take the attention that you're getting, convert it, get some people down the freaking funnel. I hear this from Oren John, creative director, tons of followers.
Yeah, Jack.
He says you got to obsess over the funnel.
Obsess over the funnel, and Manychat can help you move down that funnel and convert, ladies and gentlemen.
And this is why we do it live right now. because Oriel Davis-Lyons just watched us do that ad read live in person. Oriel, thank you so much.
Hello.
Good to see you. Oh,
See you guys.
Hello, sir.
hey, thank you. Oh, here
Hi,
we go.
Tiffany.
Tiff Rolfe is come in with a care package.
Oh my goodness!
This
Thank you
this
so
is great.
much.
Thank you so much, Tiff. And this is Oriel Davis-Lyons, CCO of Mother New York, one of the hottest agencies in the universe, I would say.
This was Jack's Agency of the Year pick last year. Oriel.
Yeah.
This is wonderful. A treat here.
There you go.
What is this, rosé?
You can do a little bit
Cheers.
of cheers.
Cheers to Mother.
Cheers.
Cheers to
To
you.
you guys.
Cheers.
Like, what have you had? Like, what a spot.
So, what a time.
that's a good
What's it
stuff.
like? What's it for those that maybe don't know? I mean, Mother, one of the hottest shops right now. The New York office is crushing it. Great work. What comes to mind recently is the Irish Exit work with Maura Higgins.
Yep.
Timed around St. Patrick's Day, but just feels like there's a lot of energy, a lot of creative talent, specifically too in the New York office.
Yeah.
So set the scene for us. How are things feeling at Mother right now?
Good, actually. Yeah. I've been there 3.5 years now. And I think at the moment I look around and I'm just like, I'm really excited about the team we have, about clients we have, and just the things that are coming through the door. And the people that are coming through the door, and particularly the clients, are coming for the right reasons. You know, I think that's kind of the most important thing for an agency, right? Is that whoever comes through the door is coming to you for the thing that you do and that you want to do. And I don't know if, like, you know, a few years ago that was always the case, right? Like the work that you put out into the world, you want it to be a reflection of who you are, you know, as an agency and as a group of people. And I feel like now I look at the work and I go, yeah, that feels like us. And so I'm very excited, very happy about where things are at, but also excited about where they're going to go.
Yeah.
Love it. Looking at Mother, like backing things up, Mother is right now has a silver lion for Keep Thinking and Anthropic in this award show. What else are you excited about entry-wise from Mother at Cannes Lions this year?
So we've got some Uber work still in the mix, I think, in film. Obviously the Claude kind of Super Bowl work as well is kind of is coming in film. So I feel like those two are gonna do well, I would hope. And then I know IKEA picked up some nice little print campaign that London did, picked up something
nice.
yesterday, which is cool. So yeah, it's been a good good week so far.
Absolutely, just getting started.
I want to talk about the because I think when you guys dropped the Keep Thinking Claude ad, kind of like this almost just punch, like it felt like a left hook for the entire like AI world to the world, to be like, this is how you market, this is how you creatively think for an AI company at a time where the early like AI like tech startup ads were just so they're so like unhuman.
Yeah.
It felt like they were all missing the mark, and it just created this really dirty taste in a lot of people's mouths. And then you come out with Keep Thinking, and it just was like the music, it's MF Doom, it's like it feels cool actually. And it felt like it took the community by storm, specifically in that tech world. So I just want to talk about like going into that, the brief from Claude, working with them, and then just talk to us behind the scenes of creating that campaign.
Well, I mean, I wish I could take more credit for it. But, that was the folks, some of a really talented crew out of London.
Yep.
And I know that they worked very closely with the client, and probably had a lot of those same conversations that we have, with clients about AI right now. Is a lot of brands are coming to us asking us to do kind of the same. Like, how do we've got this product, we're kind of all in on AI, but also we're aware of like how people are feeling about it and the backlash sometimes, right? When you kind of over rev on that stuff.
Right.
And so I know that they had a lot of the same conversations with the Anthropic clients, and probably like needed to take a few leaps, in terms of you have to come out and you have to kind of center this around humanity.
Yes.
Right. And I think that also, if you look at to the history of Anthropic as a company, they are built a bit differently, right? They're not kind of a classic kind of, Silicon Valley kind of just
right,
like
classic,
machine,
right.
So I think a lot of that was probably inherent in the brand's DNA anyway. And then obviously you put like an incredible creative team together on the Mother side, and I think a lot of what came out was kind of the result of there's probably some pretty challenging conversations,
Right.
but I think a lot of trust and a few creative leaps, and then you end up with a piece of work that I think has kind of redefined the AI
Yes.
marketing category.
100%. Yeah. Gino's got a question. He's raising his hand there.
Is it cool if I do a little switch up?
Oh, here we go.
You want to do a little timeout, Jack? You want to talk real
Well,
quick?
yeah, let's do a quick. We'll do.
So listen, I know for a
you're
fact
not allowed
that
to listen to this.
okay, so I know for a fact that he was the audio and radio jury president. So I want to get into that world because it's all out. So you cool with that?
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it. All right, time
Oriel.
back in.
All right.
So sorry, you probably didn't hear any of that. But we know for a fact that you were the audio and radio jury president this year at Cannes Lions. I also know for a fact that you worked at Spotify beforehand too. Is that correct?
That's true.
Okay, great. So you know better than anybody else right now on earth what makes a good audio or radio ad. Is this correct?
I'd say I'm pretty qualified.
Number one right
Here we
now.
go. There you go. That's good.
So now it leads up to the big question here.
Okay.
How long should a radio or audio spot be with the attention spans of people today?
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Thank you for answering.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, because I thought for sure
He's in a good moment right
you
now
would
for
be
good
like
questions, yeah.
you would be like, well, it depends on the idea.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
We listened to. There was some that were entered, and we awarded some spots that were a little longer, but there were some people entering 90-second radio spots.
It's a freaking pod. That's a live stream.
It's longer than most of our social media videos.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
And you can. I think radio's hard anyway. It's hard to be good for 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's really.
It's almost impossible every line has to be a banger. And so for 90 seconds, I feel like there was entries that they probably would have done better had they just cut it at 30.
Why do you? It makes sense to me, but for the folks at home listening, why did they select you as jury president for this category?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. I did judge it 3 years ago. I was on the same jury 3 years ago here, and so I guess they asked me to come back. I'm not quite sure how I've got the audio and radio.
Are you worried about being typecasted into this category every 3 years now?
We can get you out.
We can get you out of that.
I would try.
Yeah. What would you like to be?
Yeah,
What's the dream? Film? Entertainment? What's the dream one?
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Innovation, that seems cool. I feel like you'd see some.
That's Tiffany Rolfe's area, I feel
That's true,
though.
yeah.
So
Maybe you could do a flip, because maybe she's interested in doing more radio judging herself.
I think people see Spotify on the LinkedIn.
yeah, you're done
Yeah,
for. Yeah.
you're done for.
Yeah, you're rated every
You're done
3
for.
years.
So I gotta just clean up my LinkedIn.
You're done for. Yeah, wipe that clean.
You did reset my judging career.
All you need is a couple really solid LinkedIn posts that point in the direction of entertainment.
That's all right.
Then
We're gonna
you
start
should be
here.
good to go.
Yeah.
It starts here with this
Watch
clip.
my campaign from here on to
The most important ad campaign you ever do.
Yes.
You know what they did for the Grand Prix winner? For the frogs.
Yeah.
You see that? You see frogs.
Yeah.
What?
It was good. It was
really good.
Yeah, you're underselling it. It was more than frogs. It was really good. But yeah, no, you see good stuff on that jury because everyone has a kind of a loose definition of what audio is. You know? And some people push they push it a little bit, but other times you get stuff where you're like, man, I didn't think that was audio, but it is.
Is there anything? Is there an example of that? I'm curious.
Well, the Grand Prix thing, right? Which I don't know if you know, it's this campaign called Coqui Alarm. It's from an agency in Puerto Rico, and so they have these frogs there, the coqui, which make this really distinct noise. It's like
One more time.
One more time.
I'll try.
that's it.
Thank you.
So it's how we can hear the cicadas here.
Yeah.
It's you hear that everywhere, all over the island. And then there were some tourists who came in. They were complaining about it on social media, and so the agency had Hyundai as a client, and they got them to change the car alarm sound, the little beep beep. They got them to change that to the sound of the coqui, and so all the rental fleets on Puerto Rico, all the Hyundai rentals had that sound.
I had a question though, because it is the mating call for the frogs. So you got the cars doing that. It's gonna mess up.
Attract a lot of frogs.
Something's gonna happen.
It's like when I hear Pitbull on the dance floor.
Yeah.
You know?
I can't believe this, man. That's
We all have our calls.
Yeah, listen.
it's funny. We can hear the crickets are going.
That's great.
It's so
That's great.
good. That's so good. Do you feel the same way about Pitbull on the dance floor?
Yeah. What are your thoughts on Pitbull? Do you like?
It's not my call.
That's okay. You don't have to answer anymore.
There's a time and a place for Pitbull.
That's right. That's
A
right.
Time and a Place is a great campaign done by Claude.
What else? Anything else we need to know, like in the jury room, like because we've never been in a Cannes Lion jury room. Like, can you give us a little secret sauce behind the scenes? Is there like arguing, or are you in a dark room and everybody has to listen to the audio radio spot, like completely silent with Bose headphones?
So apparently it's changed a bit. Before my time, they used to give you an iPad apparently and give you headphones and you can go and like sit outside. But because we have so many videos to watch, they do put us in a room. Last time it was in a dark room.
That's cool.
Somewhere in the basement. And now this year we had a really nice room with a beautiful view. It's honestly, it's really nice. You get like people from all over the world who basically would come together and we get to talk about work for 2 days straight. And everyone was lovely. I had a wonderful jury. I loved them. We got on so well. Like we hung out after we finished judging. So it was great. I actually love judging. It's a really good experience.
What was the filter? Like what were like some of the things that you had to say to keep everybody back on point?
I think there's a few things. Like I think it's important to know like what are we awarding in this specific thing. So it's like you can say, oh, I like it, but I think if someone asks you why you gave it the award, I think you have to have a pretty good answer as to like what is the thing you're awarding in this. And it could be the craft, it could be the innovation, it could be something, but I think you have to be quite specific.
You tie it back to the subcategory. Is it excellent in this?
Yeah.
And then, but is there some room for? Is it subjective though within the subcategories? Like
it can be, for sure. I mean, I think one thing I ask is, I would love to see like real impacts. It doesn't mean it has to sell a ton if that's not the point, but like I think just it has to show that it somehow moved the needle for a business, for a client. And that doesn't apply to everything, right? You get some work which is, it's for good or charity or whatever. But even then, you want to see some impact. You want to see that this thing like was out there in the world for real and people respond.
This feels like something that's really come to its head recently, for sure. And we talked with Nils, Leonard earlier, and he was kind of talking about that's his kind of like major sort of maybe gripe. I don't know if that's the right word, but just thing that he wanted to call out is the idea that like, making sure that the work isn't there just because they knew it might have a good chance to win an award. And it feels like it almost falls, for whether it's the right thing or the wrong thing, it almost falls on the jury. And it puts a lot of pressure. Like it puts a lot if you're the jury to self-police the industry, and there's only so much you can do. Like you can't go out and like actually test a lot of this stuff. So for you, like, do you think that you sense maybe this year it was a little bit more?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Particularly this year, they'd already put in new rules, right, in the entry process. So that I think gives you some sort of like, that if things have gone through that filter, then we have some security, we have some confidence, right, in the entries. But I think you also, you have to kind of take them at their word. You have to assume that everything in there is fact. And we did. There were times I think when we did ask questions. You're allowed to ask questions at the entries, and the teams can get back to you. So you can probe a little bit.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I think we were looking for work that was very much real, very much out there in the world, that had some kind of response, and that isn't being kind of crafted just for powering.
Absolutely.
Final question here. We have Aaron Starkman coming on, last person on the show, won a Gold Lion, I believe, for Sleep Talk Reviews radio category. You were the lead jury. Any feedback of like how he could have improved it all on that thing to get to that?
It was pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, it's pretty close. And that one was we were debating. It was right there in the mix. Okay. I really loved it. I thought it was just like so simple, but then also they kind of blew it out in a really cool way. Yeah. So yeah, he had a very, very good night. No notes.
Was it no notes? Yeah. Hashtag no notes. Any notes for us on that interview? How do you think we did?
You guys are great.
We have a lot of fun.
Thank you. No, you guys have given us a lot of love. We guys love you. And, I'm sure Ty says hi as well. So.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
I love Ty.
We love Ty.
Gates,
You
shout out.
got jet heads over in LA.
I got the
We
jet
got to
heads
figure
in
out a
LA.
name for
I know
Oriel squad.
the O's. There's something there. I don't know. I'll think of it, but
Have a thing.
I do.
You didn't come to this interview prepared and pan the biggest week of creativity?
I have been very clear about my mother glaze. I've been very clear about that from the start. I want to own up to it. I want to face it head on. That yes, I do glaze mother a lot, and so this for me it was a very important interview.
So now you got.
But I want. I listen. I don't want it to be like weird though. You know, like
We're so weird about it.
Like I don't want to go too far where you guys are like, oh my god, this dude keeps talking about us.
Is it good for the brand or bad for the mother brand?
For right now,
I'll tell you, we had one like I love when we have real fans out in the world, and so it's always lovely to be it's great to be liked. We had one guy deliver us a handwritten note on a Sunday night, and we had the security footage. Like our office person found it on Monday morning, and we looked back at the security, and he rocked up to the office Sunday night, like 9 o'clock, and was like walking around outside, trying to figure out how to get in and deliver a letter. And everyone was like, it's creepy. And I was like, no, it's amazing. I mean, it was a note about how much he likes our work for street.
As long as you didn't break in or anything.
He didn't break in.
Yeah.
Totally safe.
for the streeties you work.
Yeah.
Which is incredible, by the way. And you look at the footage, it's like me. It's me.
It's Jack. It was Jack. Don't worry, guys. I got you. We're going to cover you. We're going to put this on the whiteboard tomorrow, guys. Don't worry about it.
You guys are so, it's like I like kiss it. I put
All right. Oriel, thank you so much for coming on.
Amazing.
Best of luck.
Thank
We'll
you
take
so
your
much.
microphone.
Pleasure.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Clip that for you.
amazing.
All right.
Golden.
Really
Enjoy the rest of your
Nice to
weeks.
meet you.
Yes. Great stuff. Here's your water.
Oh,
Sure.
oh,
Yeah,
all
it's
good.
Thank
Well,
you, guys.
Thank
you,
you. That is the legend, Oriel Davis-Lyons, CCO of Mother New York. Another shout out to Manychat.
Listen, it's
Presenting sponsor.
I think what's interesting about social media now is like the importance of figuring out analytics. Like people argue, like, is it views? Is it impressions? Is it shares? Is it follows? Well, those are all up to debate, I would say.
Yeah.
We're trying to figure out ourselves.
Yeah.
One thing that we need to fix up is our conversion and actually getting people
Here we
down
go.
the funnel.
Nice. Good ad read
You
here.
know, you do it, the link in the bio, people leave, they don't come back to it. It's a problem, but Manychat is a solution for that.
Yeah, and also it looks like I mean, I'm on the YouTube right now. I think we're on YouTube Live right now. So for those, I think we had a little bit of trouble with the LinkedIn Live, but
Okay.
we're live on YouTube, and it looks great. So I want to shout out our guy JR back there. He's a legend. It is not easy. There's no easy feat to set up across the globe for this live stream, but incredible work to JR and our guy back there. And shout out to Ali as well. And our next guest is here, and it's Anselmo Ramos.
Anselmo Ramos, welcome to the show.
Here you go. Yeah, come on in. Come on in. You look great.
Yeah,
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
How are you?
Thank you so much.
One of the biggest winners here early in Cannes
How are you,
is
man?
Gut. And that's
Here
you.
you go. You got this. You're just gonna just attach that to the shirt, and you got the can lion here with you.
Okay.
Listen, this is not just any this is not just any line. This is the outdoor Grand Prix. Is this correct, sir?
That's correct.
Oh my gosh! For field barcode, this is incredible. There's 8 Grand Prix right now awarded. We've had 3 on the show. This is one of them. One of the most rare awards in the industry is sitting right next to us.
And so you want to hold that up for it? Hold that up to you.
cool.
Yeah, next to.
Can you hear me well? Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a Grand Prix.
And how does it? I mean, can I hold it?
That's
Yeah.
pretty heavy.
Yeah. All right.
Oh
here
my
we go.
gosh. What work went into that? Blood, sweat, and tears. Give us the rundown on how you got
It's,
this.
You look good.
And you let Jack hold it, like
You
with
let-
his grimy paws?
Yeah, I was eating a cheeseburger before this, so it might have some smudge marks on it. I'm gonna put this right
Yeah,
here.
please.
Yeah.
Don't drop it.
It's a lot of work, man. You know, we're very happy. We were celebrating yesterday, so my voice is a little.
Good.
All good.
As you should.
It's our long-standing relationship. You know, Mercado Libre since we opened that. So it's been 8 years now, and they're just great. They're just great clients. They're very brave. When we got them, you know, we have the bravery scale, right, from 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
You're like a 1 or a 2 on the bravery scale,
Okay.
and now they're a 10.
Incredible.
So it's like, you know, we put an idea in front of them, like we go like, I don't think they're gonna approve this, and they do. They go and approve it, and they make it happen. It's incredible.
Can we talk about the bravery journey? Can we talk about how do you go from?
I need to learn how to use
Yeah,
this. I'm at
this
like
is
a 1 right now.
From like I think there's a lot of
get up to
personal
the 10.
lessons that
you
you
guys
can.
are pretty brave.
How do you do that in a way that feels like polite is kind of a weird word to use in that situation.
Not pushy.
Not too pushy. You
not
don't want to like
annoying.
strain the relationship, but you want to nurture it.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that? Like, how do you successfully bring that? Because I think there's so many creatives, especially like junior to mid,
Yeah.
that maybe are going through this where you almost, it's a totally different skill.
Yeah.
So I want to hear about it.
You know, bravery is a choice. It's a daily conscious choice. You need to wake up basically and say, I choose to be brave. It's a very conscious choice. You know, at the beginning of God, it was kind of like binary. You know, we were like, oh, we're super gutsy. We only want to work with gutsy clients. If we're not gutsy, don't even call us. And then we got to a point that we created the braver scale, which is the journey. It's from 0 to 10. So it's like, okay, everyone can be brave. It's okay to be a 2 or a 1 or a 3, as long as you're willing to go up on your journey. So it's a process. Usually it takes 1 year to move up one stage on the braver scale. So if you're a 2 today, you can be a 7 in 5 years.
Incredible. Do you show this to your clients? Like,
All
hey
the
guys,
time.
Wow. So you're like,
All the time.
Really?
Yes. And we show it
what do
in
they
the
say?
beginning of the relationship, in the first meeting. And we always ask 2 questions. The first question is, where are you on the braver scale from a personal perspective, as a person? Forget the brand, you know, as a marketer. And usually the answer is 7, 8.
That's pretty
usually,
high.
okay?
That's pretty high.
And then the second question is always, okay, where is your brand on the braver scale, right? And usually, in average, the answer is 3, 4. And it's like we've done that 200 times. And
Wow.
consistently, that's what happens. And we call that difference the bravery gap.
Yeah.
And our job as an agency is to try to close that gap.
Yeah, right. Because if they're coming to you, if they're even having a conversation with you, they must be brave internally. Like they know your work. They know what Gut is about. The name of the freaking agency is Gut.
Yeah.
So they know that they have this somewhat internal want to be brave. So that 7 makes sense, but the brand is lacking.
Well, what about what happens when you run into a situation where they're overcompensating on, like, they say that their brand is a bravery score of 3 or 4, but it's really like a 1. Like, how do you? There's almost like that that gap exists as
What
well.
happens? There was this time that we asked the client, okay, where do you think your brand is on the bravery scale? And the client said, oh, it's a 10. But
Oh, hell
work,
no.
But the work was terrible, right?
Yeah.
So we said, well, it's not really a 10, it's pretty low.
What's a 10 brave brand right now besides Mercado Libre?
I think a 10 it's like Apple, Nike. It's just like
The usual.
those. Yeah, I mean the brands that are consistently doing great work.
Yeah.
Year after year,
But it kind of almost the great work sort of lags the bravery. So I would think that a Nike, someone watching right now would say, oh, it's easy for Nike to be brave when they're Nike. But I wonder about, is it more so because Nike was braver in the beginning and has consistently been like a brave, and they've kept doubling down on it even when nobody knew what Nike was? Like that would be super interesting to unpack.
Yeah, it's like, another good example is Dove, right? Dove has been about real beauty for decades. Right. So that's also brave to be consistent, to say, hey, we are about this, right? And they just bring it to life in different ways, depending on what's happening in culture. Like, okay, everyone's talking about AI. Let's have an execution about AI and real beauty.
Yep.
Which is beautiful,
Yep.
So consistency over time also is bravery, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. And the work is, you might be one of the most awarded agencies so far in Cannes right now. I can't say that for a fact, but just looking at that, you got 6 Lions so far, I think, in addition to the Outdoor Prix as well. Mercado. Do you know what this brand is, Mercado? It's like the Amazon of what country?
Yeah, it's the biggest e-commerce in Latin America.
I think it's
It's
really,
the biggest company in Latin America.
it's incredible work. And then you got Tim Hortons on there too, I think, for the out of home.
Yeah, we won our first silver for Tim Hortons in Canada ever in the history of the brand. We love the campaign. It's for outdoor. Yeah.
And you would love it because it's like even in the blizzard, he's still getting his coffee. Like it doesn't matter what the conditions are, he's got to get his Tim
and you can
Hortons.
see the red cup, the iconic Tim Hortons red cup.
It's a big part of the Canadian culture, I feel like, revolves around, like, Tim Hortons is very, very deep in the Canadian culture too, for those that may not know. So it's a massive brand in that country.
Tim Hortons is also another example of a long-term relationship. It's also one of our first clients since we opened God. And we've won bronzes before for the brand, and now it's the first time that we win a silver. So we're very, very happy.
Congrats.
Yeah, there's
You're
this.
moving up,
There's
moving it
this. You talk about like the long-term relationship. There's this tension kind of
Only 3
happening.
minutes?
And
more time for
it's kind of
Anselmo.
like, what's that?
Gotta get more time for Anselmo.
Yeah, we'll get more
here.
time.
I'm
We'll
here
be
for
good.
this, man.
There's this like tension sort of around what is the right model for how agencies and brands partner together. It sounds like you've had a ton of success with longer term partnerships.
Yeah.
Then there's also these people that are like, the AOR is dead. Whether the AOR shouldn't exist anymore. It should be project by project. Where do you stand on all of that, and how do you feel about kind of how the right partnership should look?
I have a very clear opinion about that. I love an AOR, man. Our best work is, you know, it's no coincidence that our best work are coming out of AOR relationships. It's not a coincidence. You know why? Because you get to know each other, you know, and you build trust over time. And it's a human business. Marcel Marcondes from ABI was talking about that on Monday, you know.
Yep.
Third time Creative Marketer of the Year. And he was talking about that. It's a human business. You work with people that you like and you work with people that you trust. So when you have that responsibility, you become a brand ambassador, you know. Your problem is my problem. We are working together. There's no client agency. It's just like it's one team working for the brand.
Right.
And so, you know, our best work in our case is coming from those kind of relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you can do a good work for a project, but usually it's a one-off, you know, and it's hard to sustain that.
Right, and you were just saying at the start of the episode of your interview, like it takes years to move up from a 2 to a 7 to a 10.
Right.
You got to establish that like longevity.
Totally.
I'm with you.
It takes forever, man. There's no, you know, sometimes clients come to us and they go, oh, I want to become Creative Marketer of the Year one day in Cannes. Great. It's going to be a process. You can do it in 5 years. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be next year. You know, it's commitment over time.
There's no get rich quick scheme that can get you there. There's
But I feel like the CEOs need to do it faster. That would be the only we don't
like
have to
CEO
get to that.
CMO kind of thing where
The CMOs gonna have that pressure. They want to do
Yeah.
it fast, but it takes time.
It takes time. Yeah.
So they have a whole different. That's tomorrow's show.
So you almost are like with Marcel, for example, it's almost like it's just that because it's human to human, you're almost like thinking more about the relationships with that person, like the CMO, and like where they're at, and you just hope, because there's only so much you can control from like the brand and like a board above it.
Yeah,
so
but I think it goes beyond just the CMO, right? Because if the CMO creates the right culture, you know, the whole organization embraces that. You know, so in the case of ABI, it's a good example. It's not only Marcel. We have great relationships like in every country, you know, with different brands. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Because the culture is there, right? It's all about the culture.
Yeah, and it's like the Cheers the Bars work also.
Oh yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah,
One of the, it's cool to see like a massive like AB InBev is, you know, like kind of like the holding company, so to speak, of all those brands, and to go out and do a campaign like that probably has been a ton of fun for the agency. To kind of your goal is to get people to go to bars. Like how much more fun could you have working on a campaign?
No, it's cool because you can talk about bars when it comes to the World Cup, right? Which is the moment.
Right.
There's nothing like watching a game in a bar, right? With other fans. You can talk about, you know, bars in the context of the Super Bowl, you know, like in a sports bar environment. So yeah, it's a
great
platform.
platform. It's a great platform. They're always there for me no matter what.
Does it, it feels like almost, I don't know, maybe I just don't see it a lot, but like rare for like AB InBev to do a global brand campaign versus like doing it by, you know, each beer or whatever. Yeah. So was there any specific reason or like timing around like why now was the right time for AB InBev to do that? Yeah, obviously like there's a lot out there in the beer market of like maybe preferences are changing and just getting people to bars, but I'm curious about that.
I think we were talking about that the other day. If you look at the world right now, the macro context that we're living, it's almost like we have this concept of the brand one word, right? What's the brand? What's the word that defines the brand? If you look at humanity right now, it's uncertainty. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty there, and we need those human connections, man. We need to have a beer, you know, like one-on-one, like just talking about shit, having a beer with someone, and the cheers to bars is just that, you know. For a world of more cheers, let's just have more cheers. Let's go and just have a drink and talk about it. You know.
Yeah.
I love it.
And it can even be like a, like a non-alcoholic beer too.
Of
like,
course.
Like get a beer,
Yeah, totally.
it means anything.
No
Get a beer, yeah.
We
You
will-
could. It's just like go to a bar, hang out. That's where you. That's
Just
where
like
you
what they
freestyle.
did last night after they won the Grand Prix, I'm sure they went out to a bar.
Cheers.
So,
That's why I can barely talk right now.
I love it. Anselmo Ramos, thank you so much for coming on the show. Congrats to you. I can't wait to
Thanks,
see
man.
all the
Thanks for
future
having me.
wins.
Fantastic
Thanks for having
chat.
me, man.
Thanks so much.
It's lovely.
Thank
I
you.
could be here for hours talking to you guys.
Yeah, I know.
love
We
that.
almost got carried away there.
Yeah.
We almost got carried away. Appreciate everything,
Thanks for having
Anselmo.
me.
Of course. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
Thanks so much. Congratulations again.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Well, I need to take this.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah,
That's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be important. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you. Here we can just. I'll
this.
take that. Yeah.
Golden
yeah.
already. That is
Thank you.
Anselmo Ramos, founder
See ya.
and creative chairman at Gut. Be on the lookout for them. They win Lions.
Be on the
That
lookout
is
for Manychat
sure.
as
Great
well,
agency.
Gino.
Manychat,
Yeah,
great place to go to if you're a creator. And listen, Jack, it's impressions or follows. What should I be worried about? Analytics and like this stuff confuses me. And we run a freaking media company. But what does matter is conversion. And if you're thinking about conversion, the funnel, you're a creator, you're on a platform. Use Manychat to get you from that awareness, those impressions, down to conversion to sell your products.
This
or your services.
rosé is doing work on me right now. I don't
yeah.
know if it's like the dehydration aspect, a little bit, but I'm feeling this half glass of rosé.
Who brought you that rosé?
That'd be Tiffany Rolfe.
Tiffany Rolfe is our next guest on the show, the Global Chief Creative Officer of RGA. Tiffany Rolfe, welcome to the show.
There he is, and she's coming in right now. Tiff. Oh, perfect. Here you go.
What's that?
Serve rosé.
Oh, yeah.
Aw,
We'll get your mic set up.
Here, you're just kind of clip it in the middle.
You know, what's good about Agency Day and about this industry is that creative people tend to flock together. They work together, and we just got word that we were asked about.
If you want to just toss that in the middle, like the middle.
right
yeah.
in the middle, like right in the middle.
Yeah,
I can do
yeah.
that.
This is why we do it live.
You
For
can
the,
just see, I have a necklace right in the middle, so this is going to be interesting.
yeah. Gino,
Mics are not made for women.
yeah.
No, they're made
There's-
for like bad suit lapels.
For sure.
And
For
no
sure.
I've had to remove all my jewelry every time, which isn't cool.
That's annoying.
I know.
So
Flavor Flav didn't have
There's
to
gotta be
remove
an-
his jewelry.
Well,
Yeah,
he's like,
he was
I actually
loaded
said
up.
there was a
it's
chat.
attached to his skin. It's like grown into his. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't see him though. I
Yeah.
heard I was going to be after Flavor Flav, so
Mr. Flav.
yeah.
Yeah. It's funny you say that though, because the chat kind of said that Flav's audio is a little bit choppy. So
Had his mic clipped to his case.
yeah, Flav.
Oh.
Told you, it's not
Flav.
made for chains either.
Yeah, it's a shame. There could be a little of innovation
Not quite
involved.
Flavor Flav level though.
Yeah, there could be some innovation there. An agency that does innovation very well.
I mean, and
RGA.
should I create the new mic for next year for?
Oh,
Breaking
please.
and
Please.
What would be like your?
It would just be built into your ear.
Oh,
You would
yeah.
Get it when you reached a certain level.
Cochlear. Cochlears. Or is it
Well, you could use it like if it measures like the heart rate. Like you feel like when
Yeah.
you put a mic on, you just start, or
You
like
don't
you're on
wanna know how
camera.
much your heart is racing though right before you go on stage. It just makes it even worse.
Yes, exactly. Do you get nervous in pitches anymore?
It's funny. I always still get nervous. Like
That's a good question.
That was a great transition, by
yeah,
the way.
it doesn't. No matter what, like I feel like you get better with dealing with the nerves.
Sure.
And people are like, "Oh, you don't seem nervous at all," but I still get nervous every time I go on stage before a pitch. I think it's good. It's like it's
Yeah.
healthy to, you have to perform and you have to do the right thing. And a certain amount of being nervous is good. It can get bad. I did faint on stage my very first talk at Cannes.
Really?
Let's talk. Let's unpack.
I opened that up because I think people are kind of fearful of those things, and it's kind of embarrassing because I was doing a talk. It was with Crispin, and it was like a whole crew of us, and it was about how women are funny, which isn't the funny part, but it's kind of funny that I fainted during the middle of it. It was right after Bridesmaids. I'd heard in my career that women aren't funny, and so I'm on stage, and I literally am like, I'm in the middle of this, and I'm about to pass out, and so I told everyone, I said, I think I'm about to faint, and everyone started to laugh. So it was funny. They thought I was joking, and I walked off stage and I fainted and never came back. I didn't even finish the talk.
Oh, you got
Wow.
off stage though.
I
that's-
literally walked off and then passed out.
Oh, wow.
Well, that is one of the great punchlines probably ever.
Yeah, that's
Right.
one way to like.
Oh my
make
gosh.
A point when you
So-
leave, and it was definitely kind of funny.
When that was here at Cannes?
It was here at Cannes, and it was like my first. I remember I was judging late night, and I was still trying to get some work done, and
Oh
I
my
was tired.
God.
There was no air conditioning in the Palais at the time. This is, a little while ago. And I was in my, it was my first talk. I was at ACD, I think. I was excited to like do this big talk on stage. Had never really done it. It was packed house, and my heart rate went up so hardcore that I just stopped being able to talk, and my brain stopped working.
No, for
And
sure.
I looked at everybody, and I was just, they could tell I was like suffering, and that's when I just told everybody. And then the next year, I had to get on stage again, and I was like, this might happen again. What if this is my thing? I just pass out every time. So I have overcome that. I no longer faint on stage, but I still like get a little bit hit in my stomach.
I mean,
It is unbelievable.
the fact that you're going up on stage at Cannes so many times, I mean, that's incredible. Can you talk about the journey from that first faint to where you're at today?
Well, I've been going to Cannes for I think like 23 or 24 years now. I have been pregnant at Cannes twice. I didn't get pregnant at Cannes, just for the record.
Who said that in the comments? That's not what she said.
I was
Do
like,
people get pregnant at Cannes?
Stop, Gino. Stop.
they used to back in the old days. It's a different
That-
world
she-
now.
Oh, she brought it up.
Tiff, as your on-stage PR person, I advise you to not respond to that.
Sorry, Joel.
Yeah, that's it. Joe, the PR
Oh my
person.
God, I'm
PR person just
never
did,
gonna
he
be
did kind of like one of
invited
these.
back.
He did-
It's over.
Probably not.
Sorry, this is my last Cannes. everybody.
All right, this
No,
is.
so I was like the first time. One of the times I was the first time I was pregnant here. I was like 8 months pregnant, and I was interviewing the founder of Tumblr. Remember Tumblr?
Yes, of course, of course.
And I was on big stage, and I was like, "What happens if I'm like being pregnant? What if I like throw up or things happen to your body when you're pregnant?" So the whole like being pregnant on stage in Cannes, that was like another experience. I was like pregnant where you had to hide it. What you do learn is who you really like, because like at about 2 a.m. when you can't drink and you're pregnant and you run into people around Cannes, you definitely are like, oh, that's what this person is.
Yeah, right. Yes.
So it's a different world, but yeah, I've been through every version of Cannes, and every year, even though I fainted, I get up on stage. I still like am nervous every time. I try to do my talk, my biggest like keynote in the beginning of the week. I pretty much won't do a big keynote if it's past Wednesday, because it just stays with
Sure.
I like the people that just naturally aren't nervous, and I'm comfortable I never think I'm going to be nervous, but there's just something about being in front of people.
Anything. It could be
having,
anything.
Big presentation. It's nerve-wracking.
Gino's got a question.
I noticed I'm on a segue because you've said you've seen so many versions of Cannes, so many different phases of it. So that opens up a whole new line of questioning for us,
Tiff,
Jack.
did you enjoy? That was another great transition. I feel like
found
Gino's
that
kind of
there.
in the pocket right
He
now.
knows how to find it.
I found it.
Working
Right.
together and finding moments.
That's right.
And-
Now, what I need to do right now is
I got the
derail
question.
him. Now, I need to.
I got the
I'll
question.
derail myself.
Nobody derail me. I got the question.
No,
right here. Like, what version of Cannes are we in right now? Is this the most disruptive Cannes, would you say, you've seen in the 20 plus years?
I don't know that this year feels like it's the most disruptive. I think the technology that we're in right now is definitely maybe the most disruptive, but I think we transitioned. I remember the moment. I mean, it's a different Cannes for sure. When I started out, it was mostly production companies and I would say creative teams and people that came. It was a bit more celebration of the year rather than like almost like this is about kicking off what new partnerships, what new work, what new opportunities are happening. It's far more business than celebration, which I think is a good thing. We're getting a lot of things done. I mean, I have busier weeks here than even my busy weeks in the city. I do think that the technology, we've had I've been through every tech shift, so definitely felt it. I remember when, like Facebook had a few people they invited to share some tech.
Unbelievable.
And you had a couple of people show up to the lunches.
Wow.
There was no tech beach. It was just, you went to lunch, you could like go and like lay out on the beach there. So it's transformed how it looks, feels, clients. I remember when clients first started to come, it was rare. Now it is primarily that, I would say. And yeah, I think we're in a moment where at least the technology piece and what it means and what it's capable of is for sure the most disruptive that I've been a part of. I also didn't ask where I'm supposed to look.
I don't know either.
I don't know either.
We just kind of
Where are we
go
supposed to look?
You go with the flow. It's almost better to not
This
say.
camera?
Yeah.
Okay, that's Jack. Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah, that's the studio.
Yeah, he's the best.
Jack.
It sounds like you are overall optimistic about the idea of like the disruption, how much things have changed. And I think it's easy to get caught up in like the doom and gloom and like thinking that it's because something's new that means it must be bad. But how do you feel about looking at Cannes as sort of like almost a microcosm of the larger industry and where things are headed? How does that make you feel, knowing that you've been able to have a really, really great career in advertising?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been a tech optimist. I think an optimist about the industry. I've also been always in these conversations where I'm a little bit of the counterpart, where I am the one leaning in to the technology. So I sometimes am like the foe, or people are debating me on it, and there's a lot of fear about it. I've been the one that's like, the digital, I always say the digital guy or the digital person always through my life. And I've also seen, and I think we have to, I mean, the best thing for technology is creative people. And the reason I think I'm optimistic about things is because I know that like we're the ones that can take this. There's always like a narrative about the tech, and often it starts it's like about efficiency. It's about applying tech to old models to save money and make more and cheaper outputs, whatever it may be. But it's always the most interesting part is when tech creative people get their hands on it and they make something great. I mean, back in the day, it was Crispin, it was subservient chicken, and that's something that still gets brought up to this day, where it unlocks something that people didn't expect and didn't know. And then people go, oh, wait a minute, maybe I like this. I remember being the person that that did the digital, the interactive, the web stuff that had no budgets, the directors didn't want to do. And it was kind of shunned to the side. And then we did something that blew people's minds, and everyone was like, "Wait a minute, I want to be part of that. That's really cool." And I think we're at a moment still where we're getting out all the stuff, the slop.
Sure.
There's always a phase of slop.
Yeah.
There's always a phase of application to old, and we're just, I think, starting to feel and see and talk about those unlocks, and we'll see more of that. I think, and that's the part why I'm a builder, I'm a creator, and I think the creative people should be the most optimistic. It shouldn't be attention, because they are the ones that are going to take this and make something great with it. And if we don't do that, then it will turn out in ways that we don't want it to. And that's always, I think our industry hasn't had enough creative people in the business roles, deciding how we get paid, deciding how we model our whole infrastructure. And if you just lean into those hard, challenging parts, I think it makes our industry better.
And for my final question on my side of things, for the folks that don't get to go to Cannes, like what are the learnings? What are the things that you're seeing? What like the conversations you're having? What should people know about back at home that are not here right now?
Yeah. I think there's more optimism around, even though there's this tension between fear and a little bit of still questioning where the tech's going, but also I think optimism because people are starting to play with it more and do more with it. And so I think there's that. The way I've been phrasing it and like my talk was around making things that make things. And that for me was a way to frame up, building with AI in this way that is still about craft. It's still about the value that we put into this tech, like the great ideas, the great strategies. We're so focused on cheaper outputs and how fast it is, but really like what's great is we actually have the opportunity to build better, amazing, creative systems that lead to good work, good ideas. And I think there's the message back home is that we're shifting, and we'll start to see some more positivity and I think some really interesting, cool new ideas that we haven't seen before. And that's when things get good.
Yeah, I think there's so much fear around like these tools are going to replace you.
Yeah.
And that was like whether it was like real or not real, it was just like a feeling that people would get. And I think it's become, you kind of like feel the shift. You can feel the shift of it going from, it's not going to replace you, it's going to empower you.
Yeah.
And like, I know that gets repeated over and over, but it's gone from like just talk to being probably the reality.
Yeah.
Like I haven't heard of any situation where an ad agency or a brand has said, we're not going to have any more creatives. We're going to have like an AI tool just replace our creative department.
Yeah.
And I don't think that it feels like that nervousness is subsiding more and more by the day, which I feel like our creative audience can at least appreciate and know that that is the discussion that's happening on the ground.
Yeah, that's been a lot of the talks, and I think a lot of the feeling, and it's true, and we just have to make it true. I mean, I think we're all now seeing that you need the people that have the great thinking, the great ideas. Like, you don't want everything to be the same. The thing that differentiates and makes brands valuable is what you put into those systems, that tech, and that's what has always been our value. And I think right now we maybe in a way finally get to value creativity and what goes into it more than ever, because we're starting to see what it means, but that we're also now able to put it into these systems that actually create more value that we can build and we can get credit for. It's not an expense, it's an investment in your brand, and that's what I think great creativity does. And I think those are the right conversations.
Amazing.
And Omid.
Yeah, yes, we had Omid. Yes, of course.
Yeah.
We go way back. He's like my little brother.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
The Crispin days.
This is what it's all about.
We need more of that. Like, I was supposed to go to a meeting. He was, I think, at the time maybe junior or an intern, and I was like, you know what? You're a smart dude. You're going to the meeting. You're the creative director today. And I sent him to a meeting on his own, and he led the meeting. And then 2 years later, he became my partner. And we were partners, and we still try to do projects together. And I think that's also the great thing, is like the people you work with, you meet. Like, I still am connected to the humans. At the end of the day, the humans that make the great stuff.
There you go.
That's where we're at.
Bring someone to the meeting. Bring them to the meeting.
Get them. They'll do better than you. You have a job after that.
Yeah. Hey, that's right. Tiffany, Rolfe, thank you so much. Global CCO of RGA. Thank you.
Through my gold chain.
Yeah, that's right. The Flav. Shout out, Mr. Flav. Thank you so much, Tiff.
More rosé. I'm working here all afternoon.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Tiff, absolute legend of the game, Gino. And someone who has really been a legendary figure for a long time. Gino's gonna try and grab the water. He got it. Got the water. We've got our last guest coming up here, and a shout out to Manychat, of course, and a shout out to all of our guests who have joined us and had the chance. He's in my peripheral right now. Let's bring him out. It's Aaron Starkman.
Aaron Starkman,
the global CCO and partner for Rethink.
Global CCO of Rethink.
How's it going, sir?
Look at this guy. That's a Grand Prix in your hands.
Yes, here you go. You can take a seat. Yeah,
it's
there
incredible.
You go.
There's only 3 of them, I believe, right now that are out. There's 8 of them. We have 3 on the show today.
Go do something.
Cool.
I'll just toss that.
Like a purse.
Yeah, of course. I'll put it right here.
Cool.
You'll just tag that right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Some facts
of the
for you all
shirt.
back
If
at
you
home.
want a little
Rethink,
crunch.
#1 agency by ad age, I believe, this year.
Yeah, that's right.
37 shortlists as well in this year. 37 shortlists. Is that correct? Ish?
I don't know.
Okay, that's fact then. That is fact. I'm calling that.
That is a fact.
2 gold lions right now, and 1 Grand Prix for Heinz in print and publishing. The 2 gold lions, you got 1 in radio for Sleep Talk Reviews, a gold in Out of Home with Looks Familiar. That's Heinz as well. Yep. Congrats to you. What's going on?
What's in the sauce at Rethink?
The team's doing well. The south of France is treating them nice, and everyone is really, really excited. The clients are so pumped. We're going out and celebrating after this.
Nice.
Yeah, we're going to go hang out with Heinz and have a big dinner. We've had a big dinner with Heinz every year. For the last 6 years, we won a gold lion or more, or like a Grand Prix.
Okay.
For the last 6 years straight. So it's an epic run by Nina, the client, and Mike Dubert, our CCO. It's been amazing. The whole team.
How'd you get that relationship? Has anybody asked that question before?
I don't know.
How do you get that? How'd you get
big
that?
one.
How long do you have?
We have. Well, you're the last guest, so we can go into whatever you want.
Just keep going. Look at this view. Look at this.
Yeah, it's
Can we get a
unbelievable.
pano on this?
See what this is?
Can we get a
Yeah,
pano?
it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
I know we
Why
don't.
isn't this
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. Ellie's gonna
Should
try
we
and
move the interview?
Ellie's gonna try and just look at that. Yeah. She's got
Look at
This is not a cop out for how you got the Kraft Heinz relationship.
Yeah, come on.
You can say it while we're looking at the view.
You know what? This is what I'm going to tell you. We built trust with little things. Started out with a little social post, and way back in the day, 6-7 years ago, a little social post. It blew up. They started they started. What are you doing?
I did
Stop
6'7".
doing that.
You said 6'7".
You said 6'7". Nobody does that anymore.
You probably thought, what is this guy doing?
You know what I'm doing?
This is
what I'm doing?
that was.
I'm on like 4 hours sleep in 5 days.
My
That's
issue
what's
was
good.
that was
Yeah, we're
also
gonna talk
bad,
about-
that was bad timing by me because we got him to finally answer the Kraft Heinz
And then
question.
it's like, you're down.
And he's the president of the outdoor jury too.
Sorry, that's on me. That's on
no,
me.
no.
So the Kraft
There's
Heinz.
so much
sorry.
to talk about.
Sorry,
Jack
sorry,
is 6'7"ing
Yeah.
with the
you know
global
what?
CCO of
Okay,
Rethink.
come
It's
on.
a lot, guys.
Yeah,
It's a lot. It's
Okay.
just a lot.
So yeah, we started off a little social post a number of years ago. We did a thing. We put like a wedge in a Heinz bottle, and it said it's like, hey, it's summer season, and it looked like a Corona kind of thing, like you know how they do the lime. So we did that, and that took off. Right?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
like, hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then we started doing this thing with them called Go Then Grow, and they started to like invest a little more money and putting these little social things out in the world is a cool way to just beta test, and you see if it's working in real time. So you can just see, hey, people are digging this. Maybe we can make it into a thing. Maybe we can make it into a commercial. Maybe we can make it into a Super Bowl commercial. So
Come on, man.
it's kind of like if we're not asking them to do trust falls with us. We never have. Just like little baby steps, and we kind of do that with all our clients, which is really kind of nice and easy. It's, you know, we don't need them to have a lot of faith.
They get a little taste of it. They're like, all right, I want a
They're
little more.
like shark, it's like blood in the water.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean that stuff. It's to get a win. To get a win, it feels good.
I've been on the record about Heinz. I'm a big fan. I've said that I go through a bottle a week of Heinz ketchup.
Yeah. You guys sent through ideas. Oh no.
What'd you say?
You sent through ideas a while back.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
from
yeah,
you,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
Represent. I
Of
think
course,
from
yeah,
your-
yeah.
Oh wait, did we?
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
what was our?
The protein? Yeah,
Yeah.
the
It
protein.
was a funny bottle.
What was it?
Yeah, yeah.
You wanna show
Booch and I.
Oh, nice,
we
nice.
should pull the. Yeah. Booch and I.
This
That's
is a live
just.
show.
This is what.
know, I go.
It's a live show.
Well-
There were muscles.
Listen,
There were
dude.
muscles,
Booch and I were
right?
cooking.
Protein. Yeah, that's pretty good. I didn't. This is not me. This is a Gino original.
Listen, I love Heinz. And
Yeah,
they don't
he
have to
does.
do any of this creative stuff. I don't want to put you under the bus here. Like, they are the best product. There's no competitors. So why do you think that they even care for this stuff?
You know what? There's an importance of brand. There's a reason why people spend more money for Heinz than they do
There you go.
Econo ketchup.
Yep.
You know, True Save Econo ketchup. Like, I would lose it. Like, let's say I didn't even have Heinz as a client. If I just like I saw that in my fridge, I'm like, whoever got that needs to just not
not in.
ever do that again.
Yeah, you're fired.
'Cause this is what brand. This is what this is the power of brands. These little things, these little kind of things that bring out this latent love that people have. They remember Heinz when they were kids, or they remember the slow thing. These little hits, these little kind of mini hits, make it worth spending a little bit more money. You know, that's branding. That's brands.
For
that's
sure.
what we're doing here. In the
So
South of
interesting.
France.
It's incredible.
We're not it's not the whole. It's not like attach yourself to a cause or the latest flux capacitor. It's advertising. Let's get back to loving,
So interesting.
loving this thing.
It's very interesting to hear you come from that point of view because it's such a great point. Can you talk about like the science behind it? Like as a everyday consumer, you don't realize the power of branding until someone tells you. Like it's almost like a subconscious thing. Like of course we're gonna get Heinz.
Yeah.
Like, but talk about like almost the science and like the reason why Heinz keeps investing in this work and call it stunts, call it whatever. But these big moments that you guys are able to create. Like what are they saying? What are they finding on the science side?
Well, it's like when you spend a little bit more for a beer brand, or a little bit more for something that looks nicer in beer, in chocolate bars, and when you get these brands, when it's not no-name things, it's just brands. That's what Heinz wants, and it's we get a lot of us and the client get a lot of credit for doing stunty things, but I think the magic is really doing things that feel inevitable. Like once you see it, you go, "Fuck! Of course, that brand did that.
Of
course Heinz did that. No one else could do that.
Right.
They own that. And the best outdoor, and I was the president of the jury, the best outdoor is always work that when you see it, it's inevitable. It's just boom, there it is. You get it like that. You don't need a case video, you're just, oof.
Yeah. And I mean, like looking at French fries and seeing the outline of it is the Heinz logo.
Yeah,
like
we saw that idea, we're like, of course.
It was there the whole time.
Yeah.
This can't be a coincidence. And if it is, let's still roll with it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Only this brand can do that.
And like the brand, you almost create a moat around the brand every time these moments happen if you keep coming back to it and you keep dominating it. And it's like it gets to a point where it almost feels disingenuous if a different brand tried to pull that off.
Like, don't try to do anything creative. If you're a ketchup brand that's outside of Heinz, I see you trying
Do you think
to
it's
pull
over?
any frickin',
You think it's too?
I think it's
far
done.
gone?
I think it's done.
The gap is too wide?
I think it's done.
I think it's done.
I think Heinz has I think
Aaron,
it's won.
your job is done. Congratulations.
You're like, no, there's plenty of work to do.
I really hope not, because it's just so fun working on this. Our people love this, and our team just wants to keep reinventing it, and it's just such a buzz in our agency.
How is it? What is it like right now? How can you describe for the people? There's such a spectrum of like feelings you can have inside your agency walls depending on where you're working at a given moment. Describe kind of how it's feeling inside Rethink right now and what the attitude is.
Like today, the last month, or what?
This run that you guys have had on to get you to Ad Age, A-list number one.
It feels good. It feels really good. More people are just recognizing us. They see our logo. They see an R, and they're like, "Oh, the backwards R. That's Rethink." That wasn't a thing just 4 years ago.
Right.
Now people know it. They know our people. People know me now. Nobody knew me 5 years ago. That's just so there's weird stuff happening.
Yeah, I can
and it's really cool. I was out last night, and an intermediate team was with me, and I saw them talking to someone from Brazil. And, I just was eavesdropping, and they said, yeah, I work at Rethink, and, it's like, Rethink!
Yeah.
So I'm like, and just like, that wasn't our life, that wasn't our life, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, we were the 7th ranked agency in the country of Canada. Right?
That's pretty
Big
good.
country.
That's pretty good.
Yeah,
we were happy with that. But
Right.
then, some stuff started to happen. That's, around the time we started to do some Heinz stuff. We made some hires. We moved to New York since then, and it's been a run. It's been a nice run. And we don't want it to stop.
No. I think looking back, is there anything you could have done when you were 7th agency in Canada to fast track it? I mean, you probably don't want to fast track it, but knowing what you know now, what advice do you have for other agency leaders?
Well, I'll give them the advice that we gave ourselves.
Yeah.
We said we don't want to be the best agency in Canada.
Yeah.
So we went on a partner retreat. We wrote down our goals. That sounds dumb, but write down your goals. And we said we want to be the #1 agency in Canada, which was crazy at the time. And then someone said, well, let's do it for 3 straight years. And we wrote down times 3, and I think it's been 7 straight years, or 8.
Wow.
I think it's 7. I think it's 7 for sure. It might be 8. And and then we wrote down. Not long after that, we want to be instantly recognized on the world stage, and that has happened. And what was never on our bingo card was winning Ad Age Agency of the Year. We know there's lots of they give out lots of prizes, international, which we've won, and creative agency, which we've won. But there's only one
number
one,
right.
and from our experience, what we see is oh yeah, Mischief gets that all the time, right?
Right.
We love Mischief so much, so it's it's so cool to win a prize that Mischief always wins.
Absolutely. Hey, Aaron Starkman, Global CCO and Partner at Rethink. Thank you so much for joining the show.
Guys, thanks
Congrats.
for doing this. Thanks for all you do. And look at this view.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And look at this view. There you go.
Look at that view.
That's fantastic. Aaron Starkman, thank you so much.
All right. We'll take the
Appreciate
mic from you as well.
Amazing.
All right.
Just crushing it.
Okay.
Crushing it. All right.
Got the mic
Oh
here.
yeah.
Grab the mic.
Take it.
Take it.
There you go. Best of luck with your other 700 shortlist.
Yeah, okay.
Thank
This
you.
just in 700.
700
All right,
from
great,
Aaron.
fellas.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Aaron Starkman and Gino. That's the show. What a ride. Day one at Cannes.
Not bad.
Thank you all for hanging with us through all the everything that comes with bringing a live show across the world for a crew that's only been doing it for a few months. 3 months to be able to even have any sort of presence here right now is fantastic.
Have anything.
And it
No,
wouldn't
yeah.
be possible without our friends at Manychat. This whole show was presented by Manychat.
Ido. How about Ido Mart at the start of the show? The CMO Manychat joined us, and great brand, great dressed. Like
Well dressed. You had the
yeah.
nice aviators. You're a big aviator fan
Yeah.
with the glasses, Gino.
Absolutely, Jack.
Yeah,
Big
and
fan of
if
that.
you're just joining now, we're going to post this on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify if you want to watch later. I know it's early.
What time is it
stateside.
over there in
Right now it's
New
11
York?
a.m. Eastern time in New York City. So
Okay.
people back home, if you're just catching us now, watch the full show. We're back tomorrow for CMO Day. Some of the best CMOs in the world are going to join us to talk about things that they're learning, things that they're seeing here at Cannes, and what we can expect from each of their brands, Gino. It's
That's
going to be
right,
a
Jack.
blast.
I don't speak their language, that's for sure. But I think that's what people like about it.
Oh, here we go.
Like, cause nobody knows what the marketing terms are. Like,
Yes. Yeah, I feel like whenever I hear something I
Salience.
don't know. What did you say?
the word salience.
What does that mean?
I couldn't tell you, but that's a word that they use that I don't really know about.
We will ask that word.
Mm-hmm.
We will ask that word for sure. JR, before we let the people go, how's it going back there? Thumbs up from JR.
It was a little laggy, so we're gonna post the full recording that will be not laggy
Okay.
on YouTube as well.
It was a little laggy, but we're going to post the full recording that will not be laggy on YouTube as well, and then Apple and Spotify too. So appreciate everyone that joined live. For the majority of people that probably are going to watch after the fact, you'll get a clean cut. You'll get a clean
cut.
clean
We're
version.
back tomorrow. CMO's lineup tomorrow. We're going to be live 9 a.m. Eastern time. You can watch us on LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and we'll post the full thing after, just like this episode, on Spotify and YouTube.
This has been presented by Manychat. Thank you so much. Have a great day.